Oh, I see. Okay. All right, we're live. That's exciting.
We are
Um,
live. I'm waiting for it to show up here so I can see it.
it hasn't shown up. Hopefully, the lag is not too bad. I always feel like I set it to like the lowest lag possible, and then the next time I try to stream, it goes back to whatever the
Okay,
standard
there we
was.
are.
Oh, but now I can hear my voice through
Oh,
your
you have
thing.
your okay. You have your address on your tracking.
So what? It's my
Oh, your PO box. That's why.
yeah.
Sorry,
I can hear my
mine's
voice
going
coming
in my
over.
house. So
Oh
I was
no, I
like,
see where it is. Get rid of that. All right, sorry. I stream so infrequently that it takes me a while to get everything uh, set up and working properly. But I think we're good to go. So I'll let somebody else complain if you can hear Corey's voice twice.
yeah, we were meant to start earlier, but we had some technical
I
difficulties.
have technical difficulties every time I try to stream, so it's nothing new. It's because I'm not that smart. So yeah. So anyway, so probably a lot of you watched the stream that Corey and I did. What was that? Friday, Saturday? I
It's
don't know.
Friday.
Saturday.
No, it's last Friday.
All right,
So
whenever it was. But I'll just
week ago.
explain it again for anybody that didn't catch that. The Video Game History Foundation is this nonprofit organization based out of the Bay Area here in California, run by Frank Cifaldi, who's a longtime video game historian. They're a nonprofit organization, and so as a means of fundraising, they had this idea to get rid of a bunch of their extra video game magazines by selling subscriptions where you can sign up. I guess you can just buy one, I guess. But what fun is that, right? You can buy a subscription where every month they will send you like a mystery old video game magazine, and it costs about $20 a month. So it's not cheap, but I mean you're getting a collectible item and you're supporting a nonprofit, so I think it's okay.
Yeah.
But my original idea was I was just going to get the magazine and just do like a blind read through of it and put it up on the other channel. But then talking to Corey, it was probably about 80% his idea that we do it live and we could like do it together. So that's what we're doing. So if anybody who enjoys this, you can go check out the one that we did over on his channel. And I've had this magazine now for about a week. I still don't know what's in here, so we're gonna find out together. Just the one thing I was gonna say though before we get started, like I said, I have no idea what's in here. There's a slim chance that it's a magazine I already even did a read through of. There's a very good chance that there's going to be a lot of things in the magazine that I don't really know anything about, which is why I think it helps to have two people because then hopefully Corey can help fill in gaps in my knowledge. So yeah, that's about it. I guess the only other thing I would say is you had an option as far as like what time range you wanted your magazine to come from. I think one option was 80s and 90s, and the other option was like 2000s, or you could just say surprise me with anything. And I went with surprise me with anything. So that, for all I know, we're going to get a Game Pro from like 2003 or something. But in which
Maybe,
case,
but
I'm going to have a lot of gaps in my knowledge. So
the worst possible outcome to this would be if it's Sega Vision's number one.
yeah, or the EGM that we did at Retro World
Oh,
Expo.
right, right.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open this thing up. So I'm going to do what you did though. I'm gonna look away when I pull it out, and I'm just going to go by your reaction to see like how horrible it is.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. All right. I think it's
Well, you're
upside
really
down.
gonna have to take it slow because I have the stream delay too.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I mean, the envelope looks like it's too thick to be Sega Vision's number one
No,
anyway.
this is pretty thick. I think. Yeah. Can you see it yet?
Uh, Hang on,
All
here,
right.
here it comes. Oh no, no, you just flipped it back over.
Yeah. All right. So
Okay, I can see it.
Yeah. So,
We're gonna have Eves.
yep, I was
Well,
not far off at all. So, I was kind of afraid of that just because I feel like most people probably said they only wanted 80s and 90s. And so I
right.
kind of figured that they were going to probably send me something from the 2000s because I figured that not as many people, probably most people said they didn't want that, right? So, but yeah, like whatever. Hey, but I mean, look, we got Miss Sexiest Gamer USA on the top. So
Oh, I mean that alone.
yeah, I'm already excited. So anyway, let's pop this thing open. Um, so this is I noticed they mentioned this on the page where you can go to subscribe, that they were going to send them in these Mylar video game video magazine bags, which is why
Right.
it's so noisy. So I don't like Mylar that much, but technically Mylar is like the highest quality magazine bag you can get. So and I think we can go ahead and oh, that's way better. All right. So So yeah, my initial thought was like, oh man, I got an EGM from 2004, but actually, I mean, if you look at the cover here, there's some pretty cool stuff. We have 50 games that you need to know about, and Nintendo's new handheld, which of course we all know what that is, but I mean that should be kind of cool to check out. So
This is going to be interesting because 2004 is uh, right as I moved to New York City, and that's when I kind of got out of games for a little while.
yeah.
So this will be like the very end of when, like, before I took a little hiatus.
Oh well, that's good because probably during this time I was playing like computer games mostly. So
Yeah.
um, yeah. All right. Anyway,
Well, I mean, we'll do our best.
that's all we can do. So we got an ad here for Final Fantasy 11. Did you ever play? This is the online Final Fantasy.
Right. We got right off the
Oh
bat.
my gosh! Wow, I don't even know what to
We got.
say there, Scott. Thank you. Wow.
I'm pretty sure that Scott did the same thing.
Oh, I'm sure he
On
did. Yeah.
our
Wow.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Scott. I feel like just saying thank you is insufficient, but I don't know what else to say. So, yeah.
Uh, so Final Fantasy 11 is not something that I played, but if Try was in this stream, he could talk for like probably for 3 hours about it,
Here you can see
nonstop.
they've
He
got
he was
the.
he was big. He was big into this, and
There you go.
he if you really want to hear him talk about it, he did a video on it a long time ago, but also he talked about it a bunch in the 30-day game music challenge video that we did.
Yeah.
And there was one point where he talks about Final Fantasy 11, and I swear I was listening to him, and when I was editing it, he talked for like 12 minutes without stopping
Wow.
about a specific aspect of this game.
Yeah. That's
Like,
great. Well,
I could not do that.
I mean, it's nice to see somebody get that excited about something.
Yeah, I think also Johnny Millennium was really into this game.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I told the story already, but I had a neighbor, like at this time, like I had just graduated from college and I was just living in an apartment with my wife. And we had these next door neighbors that were both still undergrads, and they were like both pre-med, But it's funny, like she was like struggling because to go to medical school you have to get like straight A's. And so like she was like struggling to try to like keep her grades up, but he was just like one of these guys who like didn't have to study really and still got straight A's. Because I mean, he used to play this game like nonstop. And he'd be like, "Oh, you have a midterm tomorrow," and he wouldn't study for it. I mean, and he got straight A's and went to medical school, and now he's a doctor. But anyway, I just
Well,
zoomed in here just so you can kind of check out. You see the bundle here because, of course, you needed a hard drive for your PS2,
yeah,
and so you bought this, and it came with the hard drive. And it's funny because the PlayStation 2 is the one system that I bought on launch day, and I think about a lot of the things that Sony said that kind of hype up the system to get people to buy it. and one of the things was like, oh, you were going to be able to put a hard drive in it and all this cool stuff's going to happen. And, how many things did the hard drive ever really get used for? Like in its heyday, I understand that there's cool things you can do with it now. I mean,
There's
I
some
do
games
those
they had
things, but
support for it.
yeah. So,
But I mean, as we all know now, that adapter was like kind of the in for, using a HD hard drive loader to
yeah, which I do I do that now, yeah, but
yeah.
yeah. Anyway, all right. What's this? Jet Li Rise to Honor. I don't know. Is that based on a
Oh,
what? You got
yeah.
something? Please do. I
I
got
mean,
nothing.
I haven't played it, but it was. I feel like it was well known for being one of the first games to use a dual analog combat system.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, it's kind of a hidden gem.
Oh boy.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about it, but I've never played it. But it's obviously taken off of like various John Woo movies. You see him diving there with a handgun in each. Is it guns akimbo?
I don't know about things being akimbo, but the first thing I remember seeing Jet Li in was that whichever was that Lethal Weapon 3 maybe or something.
It's 4. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, 4.
Yeah, because that's when he really was making this big push to move to American cinema or whatever, and then he was in that movie The One, which was actually way cooler.
Yeah.
In retrospect.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody said in the chat like it seems like he disappeared. Yeah, he said the guy vanished. Yeah, I don't know where he went. I mean, maybe he's making movies back at I don't know. He's from China, I assume. I don't know that for a fact, but maybe he's making movies there. And then somebody else mentioned in the chat, and it's true. Like the built-in DVD player was a big deal in the PS4 and or PS2 rather. And for sure it was. That was probably the main thing. I've said this before multiple times, but I mostly used my PS2 to play like the 1 or 2 PS2 games I had, plus all my PS1 games. But it was also my first DVD player. So like, my wife, who was at that time still my girlfriend, like we would go to the video store and then we could rent DVDs instead of VHS tapes. And I think the first movie I might have watched on my PS2 might have been Gladiator. I want to say.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Because that came out right around that time.
Yeah. I mean, if this 2004, I mean, well, no, because I mean, Gladiator came out, I want to say like in 2000 it came out.
Yeah.
Because I was definitely in college, because I was out of college at this point.
But that's when the PS2 came
out. 2000 it came out, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Okay, so
yeah,
you got it on launch. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Knockout Kings.
No, this is Fight Night 2004. Weren't we just talking about this game for some reason? Because
I think so.
I was making a comment about how the only boxing games that I like are the Punch-Out games. And then somebody mentioned these Fight Night games, which I've never tried, so I can't say.
I don't know if Fight Night 2004 is the one that has Super Punch-Out in it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that one, it doesn't list the GameCube on the bottom there.
That is true. So did you not get whiskey or anything, or what do you got? You got anything
I got
there?
Some.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a little bit.
I said I wasn't going to drink, but then we had enough problems that I went and grabbed a beer. So.
It's funny though. Like kind of going back to the DVD thing, because I had a coworker at the time who was like got a DVD player really early, and he talked me into getting one. And I got like a Toshiba DVD player in 1997, I think.
How much was that?
It might have been 1998.
Mm-hmm.
But it was $300.
Wow.
And the only movie I got with it was Starship Troopers.
That was a good movie, though. I saw that one in the theater.
Yeah, same here.
That was Paul Verhoeven, was it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the last really good movie he ever made.
Yeah.
So he followed that up with Hollow Man.
Yeah. Hey, since you're the guest this time, do you mind posting a link. Somebody in the chat is asking for a link to the
Yeah.
subscription
I did
page.
earlier, but I can do it again.
Okay.
I got it right here.
I'm going to turn the page while you're doing that.
Yep.
MTX Motor Tracks.
I'll tell you.
It looks kind of cool.
There's certain genres of games that I will just skip right on past.
Yeah.
And you know, like dirt bike games is one of those. Although I do like Excite Bike 64, only because of the announcer, really.
Yeah.
And if you go back and you look through certain videos, I like to throw in video clips of the guy going off like one of the hills and he like falls to his death, and it's like Jim Rivers gets a soil sample. And I try to throw it in whenever I can. It's one of those things.
Yeah. I would say this issue is pretty mintish. I'm assuming that's Frank in the chat. Says if this issue is mintish, it might be from the EGM office. I took a lot of the extras when I was at OneUp. So hey, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it's good to see you here. This is the kind of game where I would not have been into this game back then, but like now I want to play it. Just because I like driving games. What do we got?
Oh, the Motocross?
Yeah.
Motocross, yeah.
How about Breakdown? You know anything about Breakdown?
I do know that it is free on Xbox Games with Gold right now, and I just got it. So if you want to play Breakdown, you can jump in, and you have an Xbox Live Gold account. You should grab it right now.
Looks kind of neat, I guess. Xbox exclusive. Wow, check that out.
I think that even works on the Series X. It looks kind of like it's like a first-person brawler almost.
Yeah. And then here on the table of contents, we don't usually look at the table of contents, but just hopefully we'll see a bigger picture of this later. But this is kind of cool just because it looks like some sort of weird, sketch mock-up of the Nintendo DS. But, I don't know who drew that. I don't know how much was known about the DS at this time. So.
I mean, that kind of thing, you don't really see artist mock-ups of consoles that often anymore.
No, for sure.
That are like drawn like that, like hand-drawn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and someone pointed out it looks like, the controls make it look like a portable GameCube. For sure. Yeah. But, that would have been a lot more bulky, though. And then on the next page, we have an ad for Hitman Contracts. Have you...
is the second or third game? I don't know. I have it in the collection, the HD collection.
Yeah, so you've played a decent amount of Hitman?
Not really.
I think I only played a little bit of it because, like I was saying, I was primarily a PC gamer at this time, and I used to get all my PC games for free, kind of, little eye patch action. And so I checked out. It might have been the first Hitman game, and it seemed like it was kind of cool.
You see what Frank is saying there. He says, "I'm not sure how long we can do this. Almost doubled subs in the last month.
It's our fault.
Way more than expected. Yesterday, I actually had to cut off any new subs to 80s and 90s, or we'd be out in 4 to 5 months. I think that's one of the reasons Chris signed up for this. Surprised me, because he knew that everybody would pretty much go for the 80s and 90s.
Well, plus it's not just that. It's just like, I'm not saying this because I'm trying to brag. It's just a fact. Like, I have lots and lots and lots of magazines from the 80s and 90s. And so if I had said that that's what I wanted, there's a very good chance I would have been sent a magazine I already have. Whereas I have almost no magazines from this era. So I mean, Frank can keep sending me all the newer magazines he wants to, just because, there's a better chance that I won't have those already. So, okay, next page here. What is this? Champions of Norrath.
Isn't an EverQuest game?
Yep. It says slay your way through the glorious realms of EverQuest in a non-stop hack and slash adventure.
Is EverQuest still online? I'm sure somebody in the chat can answer that. I feel like that and what is it? So like Azura's Wrath. Are either of those still online? because EverQuest was just around for so long that I
Yeah,
feel like it could be that it could be still online.
for sure. And I don't
And
know
if
if
it
you
went
can,
down, when did it go down? I wonder.
I don't know if you can read here. Receive a Babes of Norrath 2004 calendar with purchase.
This is that time period where you know they were all trying to get a piece of that like that Maxim
Yes.
audience and like
Yeah, it
the
was like
FHM
Maxim and
audience.
FHM and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's like looking back on it now, it's like it's kind of embarrassing. Like it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
what
Well, I mean,
what
but
was
yeah,
like
but
the
like I
one
was
magazine
saying
that really tried
before,
to?
like right on the cover, Miss Sexiest Gamer USA. So I mean, it really seems like, obviously this publisher was trying to do something, but I mean, so was oh wow, look at that. You and Frank are Sub Pop t-shirt buddies.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite T-shirts. I was telling Chris before before the stream that I think ever since the pandemic started, I'm home all the time, and I have about 6 or 7 shirts that I just like cycle through
Yeah.
every week, and they get washed every weekend. So I just keep on on wearing the same things because like who cares?
Yeah,
I
no,
don't have to
that's
switch
what
it
I
up for
do.
anybody. Like I think that when we did the read through on Friday, I was wearing this flannel, which
Yeah.
goes well with the Sub Pop.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Next, I just kind of wanted to check out the staff at this time. So this is when Dan Shu. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. HSU.
Yeah, I think it's Shoe.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's Dan
yeah,
Shu because it says Shu. Anyway, he was the editor in chief at the time. There's Jennifer Sau, Crispin Boyer, Shane Bettenhausen. So a lot of familiar names there. In fact, I don't know if you, for anybody out there, I know I've brought this up before, but there's that podcast that only lasted for like less than 10 episodes that was called A Life Well Wasted. And I've mentioned, it's like I'm like a zealot of that podcast. I want everybody to listen to it. But the very first episode of that was called The Death of EGM. And it was him interviewing a lot of people that had worked for EGM. And one of them was Crispin Boyer. And it was really fascinating to hear like a lot of just inside info of
yeah. I mean,
of just what it was
the
like in general working for a video game magazine at that time.
the podcast is very much like This American Life.
Yeah. 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 It sounds
I'm
like it would
curious
fit in on like public radio or something.
Right, with lots of like sound bites with like you can hear like the natural sound, like they're outside hanging out outside
Yeah.
using sound bites from that. Oh, we got a $10 donation from Brent McLean
Oh, thank you, Brent
saying, "I'm so
McLean.
happy to see you guys are doing these reads. Thank you, Chris and Corey."
Yeah. I
Thank
mean,
you
if this
for
live read through thing works out, I'd like to do these more often.
yeah.
Um,
I think
yeah.
it's funny because I saw someone mention in the chat earlier said, "Oh, this is live. I thought this was an upload."
Yeah. No, it's live. Very exciting. So on the other side here, the only reason I wanted to point this out is there's this coupon here. I mean, you guys can read it there. Get Resident Evil Outbreak for PlayStation 2 free when you trade in 4 non-sports games for PS2, Xbox, or GameCube. And it seems like kind of around this time, maybe in 2004, that like GameStop and EB Games were being like way more aggressive about getting people to trade things in by giving
Right.
you like way too much basically trade-in value, because it can be like any 4 games, and by 2004 you could easily have some games sitting around for the PS2 that were like totally worthless. And like, for example, like when I got my PS2 Slim, I got it because they had some deal going where it was like trade in your fat PS2 with like 6 or something non-sports games, and they gave you a slim PS2 for like a ridiculously low price. And so I gave him my fat PS2 and then like a handful of like $5 games, and then walked out with a brand new slim PS2.
It's not too bad.
Because this is, I mean, it says right here, I mean, it's a $50 game still at that point. So I
yeah.
mean, they're basically giving you like $12.50 in trade-in credit for any non-sports game. Where I mean, you could have come in there with like 4 like launch PS2 games, you know, like
Yeah,
here's
I think
Smuggler's Run and the first Time Splitters and Summoner, you know, and something else.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Resident Evil Outbreak, the only downfall to that is Resident Evil Outbreak, I think, is an online only game.
Uh-huh.
Or, I mean, it's meant to be online multiplayer.
Yeah. I mean,
But I mean, I guess this is like very close to GameStop buying them up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that, I did not work. I worked for Electronics Boutique from like holiday of '97 until I want to say like I stopped working for him for a year during college, and I went back and I through like 2002. Around 2004, GameStop had a deal where you'd get an extra $10 trade-in for value for bringing in any 5 games, including $1 Maddens.
Yeah. No, I remember I used to game the system because I remember around that time, this was before Toys R Us was going out of business, but I remember I don't know if Toys R Us was doing like some kind of like massive downscaling of their video games, but you could go in there and they would have these clearance games for literally $1. And I would go in there and I would just buy like stacks of them and then bring them home and open them because like GameStop and EB Games wouldn't take sealed games in trade because they assumed that they were like stolen. In fact, that might be a law, actually. I'm not sure. But so I would go to Toys R Us and I would spend like $30 and buy like 30 copies of some game, bring them home, open them all, drive to EB Games, and I would trade them in and get like over $100 in trade credit. And I think they might have even been doing a deal like that around that time so that you got like a little bit of extra credit. I'm not going to read through the letters, except that I just noticed there's a Virtual Boy. So that's kind of cool. I think they put it there as a joke, I guess. But well, what does that say? So this is the letter of the month, and it says, give DS a chance. The Nintendo dual screen might have some screaming Virtual Boy, but let's keep an open mind. Was that a thing? Were people like skeptical about the DS? I don't really remember that being the case.
You know, even Nintendo was, where they were saying like, oh, it's not the part of the Game Boy line.
Yeah,
it's the it's the third pillar, as they said.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember people being pretty excited about the
Boy,
DS.
Whatever their console is, and the DS.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't want. I mean, if it was a big failure, they would have went back to their next portable would have been a Game Boy again.
Sure. And then I just thought this was kind of neat that the guy that wrote this letter, Justinian, because he got letter of the month, he got a free copy of Mario Kart Double Dash, which that's an awesome game. So, and you see over here on the other page, you got a Blockbuster coupon, rent one game, get one free. I don't know. I really miss, you know, I guess it kind of goes without saying. I mean, don't we all? But I just really miss video stores.
Yeah. And you heard that Family Video is going out of business now,
I did. I saw that.
I mean, I guess with everything pushing digital rentals so much harder this last year, it was inevitable. Like, there's no way they could have done anything about that.
Oh yeah, I get it. And then if you see down here, Game Designer Rama, sick of the status quo, scheme up the game of your dreams and send it with art to, and they give their website. So this is like, you know, people could sort of like design their own like joke video game. And just because Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 was a favorite game of mine, it's just funny to see Need for Speed minivan there. And on the other side here, you've got an ad for Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes for the GameCube. Were you into the Metal Gear Solid series?
Oh yeah. I mean, I played the original Metal Gear on the NES, like the US version, and I bought Metal Gear Solid on the PS1 the day it came out,
Yeah.
and I was, I liked Twin Snakes, which is a remake of Metal Gear Solid,
Yeah.
and it adapts a lot of the gameplay of Metal Gear Solid 2 into the environment of the first one, and
Mhm.
in a lot of ways it breaks it and makes
Mhm.
it a lot easier than the original.
Yeah.
Uh, but the kind of the most notable thing about it is, it was not developed by Konami. It was developed by Silicon Knights. Silicon Knights,
Mhm.
um, and the action scenes are really, really over the top. Uh, they are directed like the guy who did the movie Versus, I think, like Kitamura, something Ryuji Kitamura, I think his name is, and I don't know, like a lot of people really don't like it. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I prefer to think of it as like a separate, it's like a separate telling of the original Metal Gear Solid story. Like I
Yeah.
think like Metal Gear Solid is the way things really happened, and the Twin Snakes is kind of like someone is telling the Metal Gear Solid story, and it's like talking about Solid Snake the legend,
Mhm.
where he's this like unstoppable uh, force of nature who can do backflips off of missiles.
Sure. What about did you pick up VR missions when it came out? Remember that on the
I did not
PSX?
buy it. I
VR
did not. I
missions.
didn't get it until years later.
Yeah. All right. Next page. Oh, Worms 3D for PlayStation 2, GameCube, Xbox, and PC CD-ROM. I've never played Worms 3D. I never even really got into the original Worms just because as I talked about on the other channel, like I played Scorched Earth a lot on the PC. So, by the time Worms came around, it was just like, well, this is just Scorched Earth with worms. So, I don't know if you're a fan of Worms. Thank you, Jonathan, for the $5 contribution. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, and he's got his son chilling out watching the show with him. So,
Heck yeah.
what's up, Jonathan Jr.?
I mean, I never really played any of the Worms games,
Yeah.
believe it or not. I know it's different than Lemmings, but I always put it in that same. It has that the kind of a same style to it.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, like the same point of view, I guess. I don't know. I just always felt like very
Yeah.
similar to Lemmings.
All right. I mean, gameplay wise is totally different, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So anyway, so now we get into this Nintendo DS feature, and so now you can see there's a much bigger, it's the same drawing that we saw in the table of contents blown up, which that looks pretty cool actually. And you see they've got a 3D Pokemon game, what looks like a 3D Pokemon game on the screen.
I mean,
there.
are they saying anything about a touch screen? They're saying a dual screen portable, but they're not saying anything about a touch screen.
Well, I mean, I don't want to make everybody wait while I sit here and read the whole article, but scanning through it, I'm not seeing touchscreen mentioned anywhere.
It's really funny that the analog stick that they expected it to have is the annoying little C stick.
Oh, you don't like that?
A little nut. Oh no, I hate it.
Oh. Well, I'm glad that this did not end up being the form factor of the because you can see over here they got like sort of the side view, and that would have been pretty awkward. But I don't think anybody would have ever thought that that was actually what the system was going to look like.
I mean, it's very similar to like a GBA SP kind of, with like a GameCube controller grafted onto the bottom of it.
Yeah. What? Okay, grudge match. So this is more this sort of, what you were Maxim stuff you were talking about. The Pokemon channel versus the Playboy channel. Well, we got Jonathan's kid here, so we're not going to talk about that. But on the other side, though, again, I haven't played this game, but we've got Tenchu Return from Darkness for Xbox. And the only reason I point that out is I was a huge fan of the original Tenchu on the PlayStation. Do you ever get into Tenchu, Corey?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was doing stealth before Metal Gear Solid came out, and just like having that free roaming of the city or of the area, the level,
Yeah.
with the grappling hook and going from like rooftop to rooftop.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of fun. It's a From Software game too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've played the game recently, and I still enjoy. I like getting the poison rice. You know, like at the before each level, and you can kind of pick what items you want to take with you. I would load up on the poison rice, just because it seems so ridiculous, right? Like you'd be like on a rooftop or something, and you're just like throwing a rice ball down on the dirt, and like the guard guy would just like come by, like, oh, score! Someone dropped a rice ball, and he would just eat it and start like choking to death.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because we always used to talk about the guy who's the narrator between each level,
Yeah.
and I didn't even realize that it's the voice of Alucard in Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, I
Who's
didn't
like,
know that either.
Lord Goda has sent you to assassinate Echigoya.
Yeah. Wow. You have a good memory.
No, I didn't even know that was the case at the time,
Oh,
who
wow.
it was, but I think somebody talked about it in one of our streams.
So,
Because we
on the
always talk about Echigoya. And then in
yeah,
Tenchu 3,
yeah.
Echigoya's son, you have to kill Echigoya's son.
Wow. Uh, so on the next page here is a little article about Gran Turismo 4. Did you ever get into the Gran Turismo series?
No, I was actually just playing 2 using a Bleem disc a
Yeah.
couple days ago.
Why?
And
Like,
I mean,
are you doing a video
driving
about Bloom?
simulators don't really do much for me. It's
Hmm.
I like driving games where you could wreck, but like at this time it was. I mean, I don't even know if Burnout was out yet. So leading up to that, you know, I really like the driver games because you get into big crashes in that.
Yeah. Well,
But this game does run in 1080i. It's
that
a
is true.
1080i.
That is very true. That didn't really apply to me when I had a PS2, but I got into I think Gran Turismo 2. I mean, I told this story before about like, somebody gave me a burned copy of the original Gran Turismo like before it came out here in the US, but I think the first one I bought was Gran Turismo 2, and I think I didn't buy it until it was on Greatest Hits.
Yeah.
But
That's what
I bought Gran Turismo 3 like as soon as it came out. And I spent so much time playing the third one. I used to love doing the races that were like 100 laps, like because
Like
the
an
thing is
all-day
like
thing.
because like when I'm sure you know at least a little bit about Gran Turismo, right? I mean the whole point like you're racing and earning money so that you can like buy better cars, but if you did one of those endurance races, the prize for winning the race would be a car and like a really good car. And so I would sit there and I would do this whole 100 lap race, but like it was funny. Like my driving style in that game was such that like I would build up this huge lead, but I would go through my tires really, really fast. So I had to pit for tires like every 7 or 8 laps. And so I built up this huge lead, and then I would lose most of it stopping for tires. Which I don't know why anybody cares. That's just like my biggest memory of Gran Turismo 3. That and the fact that I bought it at Circuit City. I bought Gran Turismo 4 when it came out, but it was like, for me, I guess once I bought it, I kind of wished I hadn't bought it just because like I was fine with Gran Turismo 3, and so it just felt like a waste of $50.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, despite never really playing any of them very heavily.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I somehow own 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
Those are the ones I own.
You know, I mean, is 5 just not very well loved? I wonder.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I actually bought the whole reason I bought a PS3 was specifically to play Gran Turismo 6.
Really?
Yeah, and it's the reason I hang on to my PS3 just so I can play. Even though I also play driving games on like my PS4 and on my computer, I guess, but I hang on to the PS3 just so I can play Gran Turismo 6. So here on the next page is a 2-page ad for Harvest Moon. On one side, we've got Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life for the GameCube. And on the other side, so I didn't have a GameCube yet. at this time, but
Right.
I did have a Game Boy Advance, and I actually bought Harvest Moon: Friends of Mineral Town for the Game Boy Advance. In fact, I got it. I don't know how many of you out there, or you, Corey, have ever seen one of these or remember it, but some back at this time, some outlet malls would have like a KB Toys at the outlet mall, but it was like an outlet KB Toys. So like everything in there was like on clearance, but they would have
Right.
video games. And so I got Harvest Moon: Friends of Mineral Town for, I don't remember what it was, but it was cheaper than retail price. And I picked it up because the first Harvest Moon that I played was I forgot the full title, but it was the PlayStation, the PSX, PS1 release. Back to Nature, it was called. I actually
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I flunked a calculus class because I couldn't stop playing Harvest Moon. Like I was supposed to be
Really?
studying for my final,
You
and
don't. You don't
unlike my
strike me as
neighbor, I
somebody who
was
would get
not
into like a
smart enough
farming
to do that.
simulator,
So what's that?
like heavily into a. You don't strike me as somebody who would get heavily into like a farming simulator.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought so, but
Anime farming.
it's one of those games where it's never really a good stopping point. I'm like, no, I gotta get to bed and get up the next morning. I gotta water the crops and I gotta pick the turnips, and I don't know. Yeah, I got really into that game for some reason.
I haven't played any of them.
Oh wow,
Although
look at
I've
this.
heard that a lot of people. I mean, I guess Stardew Valley is very good, which I do have on the PS4, but it was just on clearance, so I
Yeah.
haven't really played it.
So I'm
But
closing
I've
the
heard a lot of good
magazine
things.
for a second because somebody in the chat just got here and just wanted to know what it is. EGM April 2004. This is kind of funny. Here's an article about online etiquette. Certainly, there's some people who watch my show who could learn a thing or nobody in the chat, just people who stop by could learn a thing or two. Probably I could too. But yeah, of course, it's all things that still apply today.
Yeah.
Make nice with noobs. Hopefully, Corey, you're making nice with noobs.
Well, a lot of times I'll just, I just am very easygoing. I
Yeah.
feel very fortunate in that uh, I grew up when I grew up, where I lived like a big portion of my life without having the internet. And then by the time I did have the internet, I was a teenager,
Yeah.
and I kind of like learned a whole bunch of stuff about the internet, like as most people, like a lot of people were learning about it.
Hmm.
And now I have like generally have a pretty good idea of like what I don't want to get involved in, just like basically mind my own business a lot of times and stuff like that.
See, I've tried to. I think I've tried to kind of like take your philosophy, like you just said. Like, I think, like now on Twitter, I try to really like stay in my own lane. Um, so this is kind of cool. I don't know. Let me zoom in a little bit here. This is kind of neat. So it's just showing you 10 years ago in EGM. So, which this kind of goes to show what I was talking about earlier about, maybe it's better that Frank sends me these newer magazines because, of course, I have this issue. That would
Right.
be April of '94, and you can see there
Which is
Beavis and Butthead on the
almost,
cover. What's up?
yeah. I mean, it's funny because I think the issue I got was April '93, but it wasn't EGM, it was Game Fan. But
Yeah, yeah, rub it in. Anyway, um, yeah, and then the game of the month. Boy, it's like I should have covered it up and asked people to guess. What do you think the game of the month was in April of '94? It was Tempest 2000 for the Atari Jaguar, which is a great game, but it's just like who would have thought that a Jaguar game would have been the game of the month? But in early
it's only
'94, the Jaguar was still like, maybe that'll end up being a cool system.
yeah.
And then as we move down here, cartridge reality. The big news of the month was that Nintendo 64-bit Project Reality system would use cartridges, not CDs. Of course, gamers still had a long wait ahead. It'd be 2.5 years until the system was released as the Nintendo 64. And here,
So crazy.
weren't you just saying when we did our read through on your channel, you were saying you had the Sega channel, right?
Yeah, yeah. I had it for like 4 months or something like that.
Yeah, they talk about it here. Dial a game, Games on demand are just as buzzworthy today as they were 10 years ago when Sega debuted its Sega Channel service. For a nominal fee, gamers could download and play Genesis games via their cable TV provider, including a few that were never released as separate cartridges stateside.
Like Pulse Man. There was a $4.99 donation from Retro Dream.
Oh gosh,
this
I'm
is
sorry.
Great. I signed up for my mags yesterday. Can't wait. I think my parents still have some 90s EGMs.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
But it's funny looking at that's 10 years in between, like 10 years from the time of this magazine to when that other issue came out, because it's like at the time it seemed like such a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think like 10 years ago, it's like, oh, it's not even that long. It doesn't seem like that long ago.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a function of our age, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just weird to think about. And you just think about the like the progression of technology from then. And now you look at the technology now compared to 10 years ago. And it's like, it doesn't seem like it was as big of a jump in games, especially. Because, I mean, that's essentially like going from, PS4 launch, which I guess is like 8 years, but PS4 launch to PS5 launch, essentially.
Yeah. And I mean, certainly for me, because now we're about 17 years past when this magazine came out. And it's funny because I look at a lot of these games, and to me, they're not that much different than games now. In fact, a lot of the games that are out now are sequels to games that we've seen in here.
Right. I mean, it does beg, like, what was your feeling on Beavis and Butthead? Did you probably watched it when it was on?
Oh yeah, I used to record it. Just like I used to have all these VHS tapes because I would record all the episodes so I could rewatch them. So,
did you see the new episodes that came out? Like, I want to say like in 2007 or 8.
No, because I don't think I had cable at the time.
But if you find a place to download them, or if you can find them on streaming, they are really, really good.
Yeah, no, I'd like to watch them. And we have in the chat there is Mike McFly, who is a huge fan of Beavis and Butthead. In fact, I bought a bunch of laser discs, and one of the laser discs that I got in with the bundle or whatever was the Beavis and Butthead Do America movie.
Really?
And so I sent it to Mike because he's got like a collection of like Beavis and Butthead collectible stuff. And he didn't have the Laserdisc, so I sent it to him. What's up with this game over here? The Suffering Prison is Hell. You know anything about that? Sounds kind of dark.
I don't know anything about it. It just like the name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those games that I feel like that is so many games that released during this time period.
Yeah.
A lot. That's the thing we're probably going to notice here is a lot of these games feel very interchangeable. Like they're very of the time.
Yeah. So sorry, I just want to stop for a second. I want to answer Jonathan's question there. Jonathan asked, where did you get the sleeves/bags for your magazines? The ones on Amazon are thin. So it's funny. I was going to make a video about this at one point, but I just don't really want to. So there's different materials that you can get for magazine bags. Like I said at the beginning, this is Mylar, which I've bought some Mylar bags. I don't know where Frank got these. I think Mylar's overkill. I used to get my bags on Amazon, but then they don't sell the ones that I like anymore. You can get polypropylene bags and polyethylene bags. Polypropylene is the more common material, but it's not really archival quality. Like I've had magazines that I've bought from people that were in like old polypropylene bags and they're already splitting open. So I don't recommend that you use them. I think they're cheaper and that's why they're more common. But polypropylene is also like clearer, like it's crystal clear. I use polyethylene bags, and I get them from this. Well, here I'll put it here. I get them from this place, Bags Unlimited. So, and this is a bag of 100 bags, and it's like $22 or $23. So, Yeah. So I'm not saying you have to get your bags from Bags Unlimited, but I highly recommend getting 100% virgin polyethylene because these are nice and thick, and polyethylene is archival quality. I think it's just less popular because it's a little bit cloudy, but I mean, I personally don't mind that at all.
And Polyethylene is a very good Radiohead song.
Yep. All right.
I want to comment really quick. I see.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Scroll up. Or did I lose that here? Oh, DP3Com says every time I hear Laserdisc, I'm always reminded of the Virgin Megastore in Times Square way back in the day. I mean, I didn't go there when it was when they had Laserdiscs, but there was a point where I worked really close. I worked in Times Square from, like the last 3 years that the Virgin Megastore was open there. So I would go all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like I bought all my music there, mainly. And it was just, it was awesome. It's awesome. I missed it. I would always go to that one, and then there was the one in Union Square. I'd go to a bunch.
Yeah, we didn't have Virgin Megastores here. I don't know. Maybe there was one in like San Francisco or Los Angeles, but I never got to go to a Virgin Megastore. So, but Sacramento is where Tower Records was founded, so I just went to Tower Records.
Yep.
All right, so I mean, do we need to talk about this? This was the cover story. It's America's Sexiest Gamer. I mean, what do you want me to say? Like,
I mean,
there she is.
I mean, there's not much. There's not much to it. Who's the guy down there though on the bottom?
Oh, that's Mr. Sexiest.
Oh.
So what's gamer.tv? Did you know that www.gamer.tv? Have you ever heard of that website? Because that's where this person is from.
Yeah, I mean, does they have what's her name? Or the guy or the girl? Does the girl have a name?
Yeah, her name is Ashley Jenkins of Ogden, Utah.
Oh.
And I guess these people sent in their pictures and they just picked the one they thought was like the most hot or whatever.
It's so silly. I mean, you look at it, it's like they make this I mean, during the time they made this article, it's like, oh my gosh, girls don't play games.
It's funny. Look at this. This guy is like just like the stereotypical like dude from around that time with like, he's got his hair. You probably can't see it on camera, but his hair's like spiked up. He's got sideburns, some sort of like coral necklace. That's pretty funny. Oh, he's from Florida. Maybe Mike knows him. Anyway, over here we got an ad
from Rooster Teeth, apparently.
What?
From Rooster Teeth? Is that like the red versus blue people?
What?
The Halo. They made Halo videos.
Like
they would dub the Halo videos.
Sorry.
Or something like that.
I don't. No idea what you're talking about.
The guy has some Static X spikes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I won't say that. Anyway, so on the other side of the page here, we have an ad from EB Games. And these are always fun to look at. There's the Game Boy player. And kind of cool to see what games were on Player's Choice already. Super Mario Sunshine, Metroid Prime, Luigi's Mansion, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and Pikmin. Which... I haven't really played any of those games.
I somehow have all 5 of those.
I think I only own about 5 GameCube games. I don't even have a GameCube. I just have a Wii that I can use to play.
That Wii.
What's that?
You're talking about that Wii.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind picking up a GameCube because I'd like to get one of those Carby things from Insurrection Industries.
Yeah,
because I think that's probably why I got rid of my GameCube. Actually, was because there was no way I was gonna be able to buy that digital audio cable, but now you don't have to. So,
right,
yeah. EGM International, which I don't see anything Particularly interesting to talk about over there. Oh, remember these Got Milk ads with the milk mustache?
Yeah. I mean, I think they still do them in some capacity.
Do they?
Maybe.
It's Jason
I mean,
Kidd.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still the New Jersey Nets before they moved to Brooklyn.
Yeah. Are they still the Nets, or they changed the name of the team?
No, they're the Brooklyn Nets.
All right. I don't really watch basketball.
I don't really either. I mean, just
Well, it's weird, basketball. I mean, not to get too derailed here, but like NBA basketball is like something that like I want to watch. Like whenever it's on, I'm like, oh, cool, there's a game. Because like I just love watching sports, or at least having sports on TV. But I just like I don't really understand basketball. Like I didn't grow up having like, like my parents didn't watch it, or like I didn't know anybody that I could watch it with who would like explain like the intricacies of the game. Like I understand the basic rules, but like
right.
I don't understand
Same
any of
with
the
me.
strategy like at all. So
And I think that when we were teenagers, it was probably the most fun time to be into basketball. That's why,
yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, I haven't watched basketball in years, but I had to watch The Last Dance because it was just, it's like the last time that I really even
Yeah.
paid attention to basketball.
I still haven't watched that, but I want to. Like I know that I need to watch it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a commitment though.
That's all right. I like binge watching stuff. So this is kind of a cool feature. System Forecast 2K4, a look into your favorite console's near future. They've got like some poll results here, which these are always it's kind of fun to see like what were the opinions of gamers around this time. Which home console has the most games you're looking forward to in 2004? And interestingly, GameCube gets the 43% for the GameCube, 34% for the Xbox, and only 23% said PlayStation 2. Which
That's crazy to me.
if you had asked me to
But
predict that, that would not have been my prediction at all.
and even now, looking at the Xbox, there's like 10 games on the system that I think are like must-have games, if that even. They have
So you're
not
not
appeared in other places.
so you're not really a Xbox fan? Is that what you're getting at?
I mean, I like it, but I
Hmm.
feel like there's just like not a whole bunch of stuff that I feel
Wow.
is our must play, and most of those games are Sega games.
See, like I wish, like if I could go back. The problem is like I was a PlayStation fanboy because I
Yeah,
loved the PlayStation, the PSX so much. So I got a PlayStation 2, but like if I could go back and do it all over again, I would have gotten an Xbox instead of a PS2.
really,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Not even close. Um
that's crazy to me. But I mean, GameCube stuff.
yeah,
I
I don't
was the
regret.
GameCube was like third place system at the time, I think.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that it
Yeah.
has such a large share.
I got a GameCube in either 2004 2005. Like I pretty much bought a GameCube because of Resident Evil 4.
Okay.
But then, I ended up buying other games. But I'm saying that was the game that got me to buy a GameCube. But I didn't get an Xbox until really towards the end of its life. Like you could still rent Xbox games at Blockbuster, but like um if the Xbox 360 wasn't out yet, it was like coming out imminently. But
Right.
but yeah, I don't know. I just like I wish like I don't know. I got in big trouble on Twitter a while back for saying that like the PS2 to me was just sort of like because so many people are in love with the PS2, but it's just like for me, like when I had a PS2, it was like my secondary system because I was
Yeah.
playing PC games, and then like
Yeah.
now I don't play PS2 hardly because it's hard to have it look good on a modern display. And it's funny because the whole reason that I got this GBSC AIO thing was because Voltar was talking it up as a great way to play 480i games on a modern display. And I've plugged my PS2 into it. And I mean, I love the GBSC AIO just because it's great for recording gameplay footage. but I'm still not into the way the PS2 looks. So I just feel like that's a system where you just got to have a CRT, but not a PVM, because then the picture's like jumping up and down. Like you need for me, like I think a PS2 is like just get a regular consumer CRT, plug it in with composite or S video, and like you're good. So
who I think would have your back when it comes to like preferring the Xbox over all three of them is probably a modern
MVG.
vintage gamer.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He's like the biggest original Xbox fan I've ever like seen.
It's funny. Like I didn't think. I mean, it's just my own ignorance, but like I didn't think that the original Xbox still had such a following until because I feel like those are kind of the videos that made his channel blow up. I mean, am I wrong about that? I feel like those were the videos he was putting up that were like going crazy, and now like
who knew how to hack the thing and knew what it was capable of. I think that's where they really fell in love with it, because it's like it's a computer.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I'm saying I wouldn't have thought that in this day and age people would be so into like original Xbox content until he started uploading his. Because then I started thinking like, man, I need to make an Xbox launch video.
You should.
Because that would be a cool story anyways.
Yeah. I mean, the first Halo is probably, I mean, for the longest time, it was my favorite in the series. I would still say, like, nostalgically, it's my favorite. Just because I played through that campaign so many times in split-screen co-op, I can't even tell you.
Yeah. Well, and Kurt brings up a good point there. He says, Xbox had the best versions of multi-platform games most of the time, and especially now, it's just like because you can play 99% of the games in progressive scan. If I want to play a game from this generation, if it was multi-platform, then the Xbox is the way to play it, and then of course because you can play GameCube progressive. You can make those games look good now. I just feel like for me, it's hard to make PlayStation 2 games look good with the stuff that I have. So, So then, so for each one, they have like sort of current conditions and extended forecast. So like for the PS2 here, it says it's impossible to think of 2003 as anything but another banner year for the PlayStation 2, and that trend hasn't stopped. Now in the first part of 04 with games like Final Fantasy XI and the new Siphon Filter, which I guess is Siphon Filter Omega Strain. Which, did you ever play? I loved the original. Oh, we've talked about this before. The Siphon Filter was zapping people with the zapper thing.
And if you like held down the taser on them, they'd eventually catch on fire.
Oh, yeah. That's the only way to play the game. And I would like to see somebody do like I wonder, do you think it's possible to play through the entire game with nothing but the taser?
It should be.
Because that would be, I'd like to see I'd watch a full playthrough of that.
The other thing I think about when I think about the first Siphon Filter is like his running animation. His like butt was just like waving in your face.
Yeah, that's true. He looked what he looked like when he ran? He looked like he was running in like 2 feet of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he just takes those big steps and he's just, yeah. It's
so I'm curious. Somebody in the chat, Clay, says Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Are you talking about Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2? Because I love that game, but I played it on PC, so I don't know how.
Yeah, I haven't played Hot Pursuit.
That's another game I flunked. I don't want to say. I feel like I'm trying to sound like I'm smart by saying what classes I flunked.
I feel like it sounds like you failed a lot of classes.
Well, I'll say so. I flunked quantum mechanics because I had an 8 a.m. class, and I would get up because I would intend to go to class, but then I'd be like, I'm just going to play Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 instead of going to school.
Skip quantum mechanics today.
Yeah, but I did that every day.
Quantum mechanics, like,
and then I flunked it, and so I
can't even imagine. I would have flunked that just, and I would go into the class every day. I would have flunked.
No, well, that's like I took it again. Obviously, I had to. I took it again, and I went. I was like, all right. I went to class every day. I took copious notes, studied, and I still didn't. I did okay, But it's one of those classes where it's like I didn't actually learn anything because like all of it was like over my head.
Yeah.
But you learn enough that you can like pass a test.
Yeah.
But I'm still just
you don't
like
understand it. You just remember enough from it.
Yeah. But just to be fair, I'm just saying when I think of quantum mechanics, the first thing I think of is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, which is far more enjoyable. Anyway, so then they have over here the same kind of poll results from OneUp.com. What 2004 PlayStation game are you most excited about? 61% said Metal Gear Solid 3, which, that makes sense. And 21%, it just says next Grand Theft Auto, which would have been Grand Theft Auto 3. No, Grand Theft Auto 3 came out in like 2001. So what?
Yeah. It came out. Was it?
That would have been San Andreas, because Vice City came out in like 03.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been San Andreas at that point.
Which is the best one, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, well, because they had 2 other sequels to build upon.
Yeah.
It's interesting though. I don't think Frank's still here, but I mean, when he talks about taking this from OneUp's office at the time, he like worked for OneUp then him and Jeremy Parrish.
Well, yeah, he wasn't saying he stole it. He's just,
Right.
Because they were just going to throw him in the garbage.
It's just interesting because I think about this time period and like how I was not following games too closely, but I was familiar with OneUp.com.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch a lot of their video content, but their video, like in retrospect, going back and watching it in the years since, like their video stuff was so far ahead of its time.
I never watched any of them, so I don't know if I was aware of the site, to be honest.
They had you could like make your own like blog, like every user could make their own blog and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would read stuff on there.
That's kind of neat.
I do see that we got a $10 donation from
gosh, I'm sorry.
Pytor 007 or Peter 007.
Oh yeah, he's a regular. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
That's the super pair.
What?
It's like a animated icon of a pair flying.
What do you say? Where is this? In the chat?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's neat. How do you do that?
I think that's what they call like stickers or something like that.
It's like Grimace, but teal. All right. Anyway, so what else? So that got 21%. Gran Turismo 4, 12%. Siphon Filter, the Omega strain, 6%. And Xbox, current conditions. The bad news, if you're an Xbox fan right now, is that most of the games you waited for in 2003 are the same ones you'll be waiting for in 2004, not the least of which is Halo 2.
Yeah.
Which, so over here, 56% say that is the game that they're most excited about. 21% said Fable. 10% said Half-Life 2. 7% Cameo Elements of Power. And 6% said Doom 3.
And it's interesting because the Xbox 360 was like only about a year away at this point.
Yeah. And what do we got?
I did go to the midnight launch for Halo 2, though.
Did you?
I got it from the EB Games in Union Square in New York City.
We got $5 from Glowing Tomato.
It looks like a monster truck as their user icon.
Whatever that looks pretty neat. But anyway, thank you, Glowing Tomato. Okay, GameCube current conditions. After a rough start in 2003, Nintendo's struggling next-gen contender worked up enough momentum to become the best-selling home console of the holiday season of 2003. I would not have guessed that. But, good for them. And games people are most excited about, 26% Metroid Prime 2, 25% Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes, 20% Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker 2, 17% what is Mario 128? Like
Well,
what?
I think they were like there was supposed to be another Mario platformer they were expecting to release
Huh.
at some point.
Well, yeah, yeah. No, I assume that was just like a working title for something,
Yeah.
but
I
nothing.
mean, it didn't become anything. I'm sure that
Right.
there's. I wonder if anything related to it leaked in the Giga leaks thing that happened from
Right.
Nintendo.
And then up 12% Resident Evil 4.
Oh,
And the
that
Game
was
Boy
you.
Advance. Oh, hey, Mario. Well, this says Mario and Donkey Kong, but that became Mario versus Donkey Kong. You ever play that game, Corey?
Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, that was one of the games that was that they gave away to 3DS owners
yeah.
um,
Oh, really? Well, it's a very good
who
game.
bought the system at launch.
Some people in the chat are saying Mario Sunshine, but no, Mario Sunshine was already out. In fact, there was that, yeah, right here, this ad. You can see Super Mario Sunshine was already a player's choice game by this
Yeah.
time. So, yeah, Mario versus Donkey Kong is an awesome game. And, what is,
It's kind of the unofficial sequel to Donkey Kong '93. I would assume. I
you
mean,
mean just
that's the
you
idea
mean
that I
Donkey
got from
Kong on the Game Boy?
it. Yes.
Yeah, so I've never heard it referred to as Donkey Kong 93, but yeah, I mean, it's the
Oh,
same type of game, sort of
yeah.
action puzzle game, I guess, if you want to call it.
Mhm.
Death from Above.
It's gonna be. I think that's gonna be Drakengard
Yeah.
on the next page. Is it Drakengard 1 or 2?
Oh, I don't know yet because hold on. Chaos Below. Yep, Drakengard. Wow. Look at you.
The only reason I know about that, I mean that Drakengard 1 and 2 are kind of expensive now. Uh,
Really?
for one of the main reasons I think is because the way that it connects to the Near games. Are you familiar with Near Automata and Near Replicant?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not familiar, but I know. I mean, I've heard that before.
So they're connected in a really weird way, and it's kind of crazy. Like there is a special ending that you can get in Drakengard where the main characters go through a portal
Yeah.
and they get warped into our real world.
Hmm.
And they have their own like their final fight, and then one of them dies and the other one goes back to the world. And because that happens, it causes like this huge virus outbreak in our that like leads to the Near games.
Wow. Well, that's pretty cool.
It's kind of crazy. There is this huge in-depth timeline called the Yoko verse, which is like based on the guy who directs all these, Yoko Taro.
Yeah,
It's like really, really detailed and
that's cool.
and just crazy and weird and cool.
Yeah. So I don't want to wait too long here. So we got $5 from John Polish Impossible to say. Probably not his real last name, but he says Mario 128 was a tech demo at Space World. They showed off with all the Marios running around a cube, and he's saying that maybe that became Pikmin, but
That was
it couldn't have though because I think Pikmin's also right there. So,
yeah.
but there you go. That's more information than we had. So, John, thank you for the contribution and thank you for the info.
Yeah. I see that. I see that Rumble Roses over
Yeah, I was
there.
gonna say this is one of your. You were saying this was one of your hidden gem games from this time.
I somehow own Rumble Roses on the PS2 and Rumble Roses XX
Yeah,
on the 360. I don't know how how I came to own them, but I remember recording footage for an episode, and that Try was editing, and it took him forever to find like a like a clip that was 10 seconds straight that was like all right enough, that was family friendly enough that we didn't feel
yeah.
weird about putting it in an episode.
Wow. Down here, first PSP screen shown. Come November, when Sony launches the PlayStation Portable, you'll be knee deep in Shire. That is, if you pick up EA Games Middle Earth set Kart Racer, tentatively titled Lord of the Rings Mordor GP. That's not.
It's got to be April Fool's.
That's what I was going to say, because
right?
this is the April issue. That's got to be an April Fool's. But that also sounds kind of awesome.
Yeah, I know. Well, it sounds like so. It sounds so stupid that that it would be awesome to see.
Yeah.
I mean that's got to be one of the April Fool's jokes.
Yeah. I got a PSP not on launch day, but launch week.
Yeah.
But it was kind of the same thing as the PS2. Like I feel like Sony made all these promises about, like here's all these games that are going to come out for the PSP, and then like they came out like years later. Did you notice, by the way, that I put your My Life in Gaming logo on your little square there?
Good.
I mean,
I did.
Trying to class it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't have the fancy little monitors with the CRT effects like you do, but that looks okay, I think.
I think this is a great layout.
Yeah. Oh, so here, this is cool. Top 10 best-selling games for December 2003. I always like looking at this kind of stuff here. Let's get in tight. Number 1, Need for Speed Underground for the PS2. Number 2, Madden NFL 2004. Number 3, Mario Kart Double Dash. That was a game that, I mentioned I didn't get a Gamecube until like 04, maybe even 05. But that was a game that I picked up for it. Tony Hawk's Underground, Dragon Ball Z, Budokai 2, True Crime Streets of LA, Medal of Honor Rising Sun, Final Fantasy. Do you say Final Fantasy 10-2? Is that like the X-2? Is it 10-2?
Yeah, 10-2.
Yeah. I have that game, but I haven't played it. Final Fantasy 10 was kind of like my last. Like, I bought that game and I hated it enough that I just quit playing Final Fantasy games.
It's in like, did you beat the game? Did you finish it?
No, not even close. Like I started playing it. I played it, I don't know, 10 hours or something, and was just like, I just couldn't get into it.
When I think back on Final Fantasy X, I specifically remember my experience being, I did not like it.
Yeah.
But I felt like I needed to finish it.
Yeah.
And by the time I finished it, I was like, this is not that great. But the ending of it, changed my entire opinion of the game.
Wow.
And like made it retroactively good.
I mean, that's cool. I'm probably not going to play the game just to see the ending.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm
glad to hear
I liked
that.
the ending so much. I went and did all of the extra stuff that there was to do.
Yeah.
And I went from like not thinking I was going to play it ever again to putting in like 75 hours.
Wow. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then 9 and 10, SOCOM 2, U.S. Navy SEALs, and Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. SOCOM 2, that was like one of the more popular online games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm just looking. This is top 10 game rentals for the week ending January 20th, 2004. Nothing really sticks out there to me. I don't know if you see anything that you're excited about.
Max Payne 2.
Yeah.
Max Payne 2 is really good. I'm a kind of a big fan of all three Max Paynes. A lot of people don't like the third one because it was done by like a different director, but I think it's a game that it holds up really well.
Mm-hmm.
No. But the first two, I mean, I love the first two.
So here's that Drakengard ad once again. It looks cool. I don't believe I've played it. In fact, I am very confident that I've never played it.
I've never actually even played it.
Is that Seanbaby?
Oh yeah, he wrote for EGM.
But is that who that is, or is it just someone that looks like Seanbaby?
It's gonna be him. Oh yeah, that's totally.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's Seanbaby. Yeah. Oh, I was talking about A Life Well Wasted. He was also featured, or
Yeah. What does he
not.
do? I wonder what he does now.
Oh, throw him a follow on Twitter. Like he still is like he has like a, I don't want to call it a blog or something, but I think you might have to subscribe to his Patreon to see it or something. But it's called like 1-900 Hot Dog or something like that. But I mean, it's more of just, if you like Seanbaby's sense of humor, then it's more of that. So
Yeah. I mean, I since I didn't really read EGM during this time period, I only knew him from his website,
hmm
and even that I didn't look at very often.
so this is a feature about him going.
Dressing up as Iori from
Well, yeah, but
Street
he's
Fighter.
going to like a cosplay,
Mm.
I guess, convention.
The thing that's really striking me here is how far into the issue the review crew seems to be.
That's very true. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, we haven't gotten to that yet. This is kind of cool. Check out this coupon. Buy one, get one free. Purchase your classic video games today at EB Games. Buy one and receive one pre-played Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, or Nintendo 8-bit game free with this coupon. And I definitely was buying. Like I lived right down the street, like at the end of the street that my apartment complex was on, was a shopping center that had like a grocery store and whatnot, and it had an EB Games, and I used to go in there and pick up the occasional Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis game around this time. Here's another
I'm
one of these
surprised they would
coupons
put me
with
out
the trade in 4 non-sports games and get a free copy of Tenchu Return from Darkness. So just again, that's just a really good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does this
Oh,
have an
no,
expiration date on it, I wonder? Like oh yeah, it expired. I was gonna say because now GameStop is selling old games again, right? So you could try to use
I
that,
think
but
some of them are. I haven't run into any that are selling them around here.
so here's some more Maxim type content for you. This person looks familiar, but I don't. Oh, she was a singer,
Oh.
or probably still is, I guess. But
Maya. Yeah, I mean, I know who she is,
yeah,
but I mean, yeah, it's this time period, I guess.
yeah, yeah,
They're just trying to compete against
yeah. No, I get
those
it.
kind of magazines.
Yeah, Juicy Fruit. You like Juicy Fruit?
I do.
Yeah, I don't.
I do.
I just like standard Juicy Fruit.
Me
Like I don't.
too. Me
I don't.
too. And like it's like, oh, it's spearmint flavored, but I don't even know what spearmint's
Well,
supposed to even be.
well, this is Strappleberry and Graper Melon. What's Strappleberry supposed to be?
I don't know.
Um,
I wonder how many times like how many meetings they had to come
yeah,
up with to come up with those names.
yeah. You ever see One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the movie?
Oh yeah.
Remember? Juicy Fruit. Because I think he gives Chief. I think they're waiting to go get their not their lobotomies, but the electroshock treatment. Like they're sitting in the hallway waiting for that. And I forgot Jack Nicholson's character's name, but he gives Chief a piece of gum, and he puts it in his mouth and chews it and says, juicy fruit. And that was like the first thing he ever said, right? Because he had everybody convinced that he was a mute.
Yeah.
But it's like it turned out there was like at least supposedly nothing wrong with him. Next here, Ratchet and Clank Going Commando.
Oh, I feel is the best of the original trilogy,
Yeah.
at least. That's the second game. That's the first one that really kind of modernized or standardized the controls.
Yeah.
If you haven't played any of them,
I have
that's
not.
that's a really good one to check out. The first one's kind of hard to play,
But
but
it's on
this one,
PS2 is the problem.
yeah.
Didn't
But
they
I'm
release
pretty
like a
sure.
compilation of
I'm
these,
pretty
I
sure
thought?
that. What's that?
I thought they released like a compilation of these for like
They
a
did. But if it being on PS2 is a problem, I'm
it is
pretty
a
sure that
problem for me.
like Ratchet and Clank, Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, and Deadlocked all have 480p mode.
Oh, all right. Well, that would make it better. Um, I don't know anything about NFL Street, and you don't like sports particularly, so we don't have to talk about NFL
Well, but
Street.
I mean, in a lot of ways, I never really played NFL Street, but I kind of viewed it as the successor to NBA Jam.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think it was taking the NBA Jam formula and
Right.
applying it to football. But on the other side here is Mafia, which I played this game when it came out on the PC and really enjoyed it. You ever play? I don't know if you ever played Mafia. You know, it's like it was like playing Grand Theft Auto 3, but you know, set in like the 20s. But the thing about it that was really annoying is that all you had to do if you exceeded the speed limit when you were driving, that alone was enough to make the cops come after you. And then you could either try to outrun the cops or you could let them pull you over and you'd pay a fine, I think. But it was just really annoying, right? Because like I don't know, like that's a little bit ticky tack for a game like that. Like you don't want to have to worry about speeding, you know.
I'm pretty sure there's a remaster out for it now. They
Yeah, I
came
think
out
there might
recently.
be, but I've played some. I think it's Mafia 2 or Mafia 3. I don't know, whatever the newest Mafia is on here on my computer. It's fun. I think I like it. Oh, there's just more NFL Blitz. And then over here is an ad for GameFly, which I didn't know that GameFly. I always, for some reason, I associate GameFly with like the PS3, Xbox 360 generation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when I signed up for GameFly is when I got an Xbox 360. But I feel like if I don't know if I just didn't know about it or maybe I did and just didn't think it was a good deal. I'm kind of surprised I didn't have that at this time, just because I had a PS2 and a GameCube and a Game Boy Advance. I don't know about you, my mail delivery person doesn't does not look or
Doesn't
dress like
dress like
that.
that.
Yeah, I feel like the post office would probably get some complaints
Yeah.
from Karens about that. See, online this month, the present and future of SOCOM 2, PC gaming update, Lords of Overkill. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Oh, must hit websites. Merzo.net, playonline.com. What's this? GameandWatch.com.
Oh.
All this talk of dual screen Nintendo portables led us to this site where you can wax nostalgic for the era when Nintendo first jumped into the handheld market with its excellent line of Game and Watch. So I don't know if maybe that was like a flash based web. Like I don't know if you could actually play the games or if you could just look at them.
I'm sure you just look at them. Like, you can't be probably weren't playing
You don't
games
think so?
online.
I mean, a game that simple. You don't think you
I
could have
don't
run
think
that in
so.
Flash in 2004?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, we had the
Over there, we
technology
got
back then for like, Badger, Mushroom. I mean, you can play Game and Watch.
yeah. I mean, you have to hop in the Wayback Machine and check it out.
I mean, we had Happy Tree Friends and Homestar Runner. I posted
Yeah.
it in my Discord chat that the other day, like 3 or 4 days ago, was like the 18-year anniversary of Trogdor. The episode of Strong Bad Email where Trogdor, like that was 18 years ago.
You'd have to talk to Try about that stuff. Like I did not pay attention to any of that stuff.
Wow, you're missing out. Oh yeah, somebody said it in the chat. Yeah, that is Wayne Brady.
It is.
Going to the mat.
You know, like since working from home, you know, if I turn on the TV in the morning, I'll like turn on the news or something like that, and you know, it'll just be on in the background, and inevitably, somehow, Let's Make a Deal with Wayne Brady will show up on the TV.
Yeah. So
I wonder if Andrew Lawrence is the brother of Joey Lawrence.
That's what I mean. When I saw that, I guess I just kind of assumed. So this is kind of interesting. On the next page, here's like a thing about Walter Day. So I feel kind of bad. You know, like we were talking about before the stream started, I just, you know, I did some, well, it's not spring cleaning, it's the dead of winter, but I did some cleaning down here in the basement. And I don't remember if I showed it on the stream or whatever, but, you know, I went to those 3 gaming conventions. You know, like I saw you at the second one that I went to. But before that, I went to a video game. It's called a video game, or another video game con, sorry. No, it's called a video game con. It really doesn't matter. So the second one was the one that I went to where you were there. And then the third one that I went to was here in Sacramento, and yeah, that didn't really go very well. But they gave me like I got all these like video game personality trading cards with my face on. I showed all those before, but they gave me like this 11 by 17 poster that was like, I forgot what it even said on it, but it was like me, you know, and it was like some kind of like, you know, I was like one of the, you know, video game people of the year kind of. I'm probably overstating it. It wasn't really that cool.
Card, right?
What?
You can't. It was put on a card, right? Like a trading card.
Yeah. But I also got this big thing that was like a certificate, and it was actually signed by Walter Day, and it had like a ribbon on it that was like, you know, stuck on there with like a gold sticker. And it's kind of one of those things, somebody gives it to you and you're like, oh, like that's cool. But like, yes. Like, what am I going to do with that? You know? And so like ever since then, and this was like a year and a half ago almost, it's been sitting on the shelf over here on top of some of my old computer stuff. And then finally the other day when I was cleaning, I was just like, you know, I'm never going to do anything with this. So I just grabbed it and folded it in half and threw it in the garbage. But so it's just funny that like, you know, a few days after that, like here's Walter Day in this magazine. But like, at least for me, like the only thing about it that was cool is that it had Walter Day's autograph on it, I guess. But
it wasn't cool enough to keep it.
I don't know. It's like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm not the kind of guy that like hangs up stuff like that.
I get it. Like, you know? I envy that. Like, it would just go in like a plastic bin in the closet or something like that.
Well, if it had been like 8.5,
you can be like, I don't need this.
Well, because if it had been like 8.5 by 11, then it's easier to just stash it somewhere. But it was like too big, and so like I don't know. It's just like I don't even have like my diploma when I graduated from college. I don't even have that hanging on the wall. Like, I'm not hanging up this thing that I got from this video game, especially because like that video game convention was awful as an experience for me. Like, it was a good convention, but like for me it went terribly. Like I had my booth there, and like I think 2 people knew who I was. I had to go do a panel discussion, but it was like a YouTuber's panel discussion, so it was like me and like 3 or 4 other guys. And I literally sat up there for an hour and nobody asked me a single question because like nobody in the room knew who I was, because everybody there was like younger, and like there were people on the dais or whatever who were like, you know, well known for like doing like Pokemon videos and stuff, and it just wasn't my crowd, you know. But I ended up even like I just packed up my stuff and left early, and like just went out to a bar with my friend and just drank, because it was like that was more fun than being at the. So I'm just saying, like when I see that, that's what I think of, and it was just like, especially after the awesome time that I had at AVGN and also at Retro World Expo, like that convention was just like I just as soon forget it. So
Yeah.
I took my certificate thing and threw it in the garbage. And it's funny,
We
I
got a
still.
$2 donation from our good friend
Oh, hey, Blade
Blabler,
Blur, what's up, man?
saying, "Hope you're doing well, boys."
I kept the
Thank you.
cards but I always intend to like, well, when somebody orders something from me, I'll put a card in in the envelope and send it. But then whenever I'm like sending people stuff, I always forget to put a card in there. So, but then I have like I traded cards with some of the other people that were there because they had them for everybody, and uh, so I traded with with like other YouTubers, even though I had no idea who any of them were. And so now I have those cards, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with these? I don't
What's
know.
interesting, if you look at those pictures of Walter Day, I mean this was maybe like 4 years before King of Kong,
Yeah,
and I feel like those have to be old pictures of Walter Day
yeah,
because
he looks
between
very young.
yeah, I mean
Yeah,
it's like he aged like 60 years between those photos and
yeah.
the Walter Day of King of
Speaking of
Kong.
which,
Although I've not seen
there's
King of
Billy
Kong in a long
Mitchell,
time. Yeah, yeah. So I mean,
video game
this must have
champ and
been
hot sauce maven.
yeah. It's it had to have been. I mean, this is before King of Kong like really made Billy Mitchell like
Yeah,
more mainstream, I guess.
yeah. This is Quarterman. Even says there Q Man for Quarterman.
Huh?
The rumor mill, and then it says Q Man for this is like Quarterman 2004 edition.
Wow. So they kept the Quarterman persona
Mm-hmm.
going.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I mean, huh? I wonder who wrote those then.
I don't know.
Because I mean, it's in the original. It was Steve Harris who was Quarterman.
Yeah.
And obviously, it wasn't him at this time. What's it saying about Mega Man there?
By the numbers, Mega Man Metrics, 1987, the year Mega Man debuted in Japan for Nintendo's 8-bit NES. 5 different Mega Man series, including the Zero spin-offs. 31 actual Mega Man titles released in the US to date. 20 million units the Mega Man games have sold worldwide. You know, speaking of that, on Twitter, I don't know, today or yesterday or something, somebody posted like a Twitter poll. I think it might have even been Nintendo of America that posted the poll. And it was just like basically you could pick Mega Man or Mega Man X. And like, it was like 2/3 Mega Man X, which
Really?
I was
I mean,
kind
they're
of,
both excellent. I mean, I don't know what I would choose. I mean, I could take either one of them.
I mean, I would definitely take original Mega Man.
They are each my favorite of their respective series.
Yeah.
I got Xenosaga on the other page there.
Yeah,
I
greatest
mean,
hits, $20. I always hated buying greatest hits games, but at least with the PS2 it was like this red,
I
so it's not as bad.
wonder what they were thinking about that green. Like, whose idea was that?
I don't know.
I mean,
Awful.
they're like, we're gonna think of the most obnoxious, eye-catching thing that we can.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that would have been worse would have been like hot pink or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hot 5. The voters have spoken. These 5 games interest them most. These are really no surprise. Number 1, Halo 2, which was expected to come out in the fall of 2004. Number 2, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, late 2004. Resident Evil 4, late 2004. Final Fantasy 12, early 2005. Gran Turismo 4, mid 2004. Anything?
That's
Nothing?
a good lineup.
Yeah. Butterfinger, though.
What's number 5? Oh, Gran Turismo 4. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a pretty good lineup of games.
Yeah. You see we got a Butterfinger ad over here. I don't like to brag, but for a, couple months, maybe something like that, Butterfinger followed me on Twitter. So that was exciting.
Like, was it the official account?
Yeah. Yeah. It was like the official Butterfinger. Like I think I was eating a Butterfinger and I tweeted about it just because like I really do love Butterfinger. And I tweeted about it and like I think I must have tagged Butterfinger and so then they like replied and then they followed me for a while. But then like after a month or two they unfollowed me and I was like, what did I do? Like I made Butterfinger angry or something.
They realized that it was a one-time thing.
That's true. I
Lays a
never.
finger on my Butterfinger. Was that a Simpsons ad? Wasn't it Bart Simpson?
Yep.
Would say nobody lays a finger on my Butterfinger.
Was that only The Simpsons though, or was it just that they had for a while? It was like I don't remember.
I feel like it was only The Simpsons for a long time. Then maybe they tried to spin it off into something else.
Hey, we'll see what the chat says about it.
Yeah.
Oh, Clay got followed by Sega of America for a bit. That's cool. I don't know. I think there's a couple of Sega Twitter accounts that follow me, but I mean, Sega Twitter account is cool, but it's no Butterfinger. Coming soon. What do we got coming? Anything cool? NBA Ballers, Digimon Racing, Grow Lancer Generations, Headhunter Redemption, La Pucelle Tactics. You ever play that one? That seems like that would be similar to like Final Fantasy Tactics, or maybe that's not correct.
I think that's a sequel to, or like a spin-off of the Rhapsody games. I think. I'm not sure.
And speaking of,
say Grow Lancer was it Grow Lancer Generations?
Yeah,
that was. I think that's the last working designs game.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. Yeah. Sorry, just to wrap things up on Butterfinger. By the way, if you've never had a Fifth Avenue bar, which are at least around here, a Fifth Avenue bar is you don't see them very often. Fifth Avenue bar is like a Butterfinger bar, but better. So if you've never had one, track one down. Mega Man Anniversary Collection. I remember picking that one up when it came out, but my recollection was that on the PS2, the buttons were reversed and you couldn't change it. So like the button that you wanted to use to jump was shoot, and then like shoot was jump, and like it wouldn't.
The GameCube version. Yeah, it's fine on the PS2 version.
Oh, there you go then. So maybe I picked that up after I got a GameCube or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how they messed that up.
Yeah, I don't. That's sort of shocking. And then here's River City Ransom EX for the Game Boy Advance. I bought that as soon as it came out.
I wish that I didn't buy it, but I wish I got that. It was like that was a really good 1-2 punch of River City Ransom EX and Double Dragon Advance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a great remake of the original Double Dragon.
Yeah. And then down here, I don't know. Well, you ever play any of the Serious Sam games? Those are kind of odd.
I played the I have the collection on the Xbox 360, but I feel like I played Serious Sam 2 on the original Xbox.
And then again, there's Siphon Filter, the Omega Strain, which, like I said, I don't remember picking that one up. I remember playing Siphon Filter and Siphon Filter 2 on the PlayStation, as we said, but I don't recall ever picking this one up for the PS2. I'm not really sure why. And then I don't know what's this going to be. Tom Clancy's what? What? Wow, this cost a couple bucks.
What?
Oh, all right. So it's because it's for 3 games: Splinter Cell, Rainbow Six 3, and Ghost Recon Jungle Storm.
Huh?
What? You got something to say? What?
No, I mean,
Here, are you distracted? Here, now you can talk.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm just looking at all these different Tom Clancy games, and I just don't even think about any of them. Like I have no
Oh.
opinion on any of them.
Well, I
I
really
guess
liked. I
like
played
Splinter
Ghost
Cell.
Recon for PC. That's actually I still play Ghost Recon for the original Ghost Recon. I bought it on either Steam or the other one. I forgot which, but
Yeah, yeah, cover
um,
her up.
yeah. Sorry, I too much lag there. But um, it's funny though because in like if I'm playing a game on Steam, it'll say in Discord like what I'm playing. And I just remember I went through this like phase where I was going back through and playing Ghost Recon, and then like the guys in chat were like, "What's he doing?" Like playing because that's that game's from like 2002 or something. But the original
Yeah.
Ghost Recon is awesome. Um. Anyway, okay, so this is the ad. This is the feature about the 50 games that you need to know about, and
Is this hot
also
teacher
her.
gonna take us? Gonna take? Is she gonna be a recurring character? You think throughout this entire
I
thing?
mean, you would think so. Hey, linear algebra. Pretty sure I didn't pass that one the first time either.
You're
Um,
too busy playing Ghost Recon.
yeah, it might have been, yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of fire through these, and if you see something or I'll since you're on tape delay there, um, uh, I'll just call out the names of the games, and if you hear something you want to talk about, I'll stop because 50
Sure.
games is a lot.
Yeah.
The Getaway 2.
First one was a big deal. I didn't even know the second one came out.
Yeah, I never played a Getaway game. I mean, it looks kind of neat, I guess. An ad for Samurai Warriors,
Is
which
that like a Dynasty Warriors type?
that's what it looks like. It's the same company, Koei.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Um,
Tecmo Koei or Koei,
yeah.
I don't
Only
know.
thing about that is like like I said, I got my PS2 at launch, and I like for me, I got SSX was the one game that I bought,
Yeah.
but it was like a last minute. I changed my mind. I was gonna get Dynasty. I think it was Dynasty Warriors 2.
Mhm.
Like I was gonna get that, and then like at the last minute, I was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna get SSX instead."
You dodged a bullet, I think.
I mean, I haven't played.
Dynasty Warriors is good, but SSX is awesome.
Yeah, SSX is a classic on this.
The
I mean,
first
yeah, I made a
3
good
are amazing.
decision, but just when I see this, that's what it reminds me of. Oh yeah, there she is again. Ooh, fishnets. Remember that was like popular, like late '90s, early 2000s. Fishnet stockings. Anyway, The Punisher, Crimson Sea 2, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I,
Azkaban.
I never seen it. I don't
Azkaban.
know. I know nothing about Harry Potter. So
A lot of people will say that the third Harry Potter is the best one.
movie or a
And
game?
probably. What? No, the movie.
Okay, I haven't seen any of them, so I don't know. Onimusha 3. You ever played any of the
Oh, yeah,
Onimusha
yeah.
games? Because the first
I
Onimusha
have
was like one
1
of
through
the
3, and it looks like I see the picture of Jean Reno,
yeah
who is in the third Animusha.
yeah. Well, that's what it's saying
Uh,
here. Yeah,
he's the professional.
Onimusha was like one of the first, like if I remember correctly, wasn't that one of like the first like big release
Yes, on
post
the
launch
PS2.
PS2 games?
Yeah.
My roommate, because my roommate and I was in college. My roommate and I both bought PS2s on launch day, and I remember he picked up Onimusha, and I think the main reason he picked it up was he was a huge Resident Evil fan, and I
Yeah.
think he picked it up in large part just because it's a Capcom game.
It got a $20 remaster on new consoles. You should check out
Oh, that's
if you want
cool.
to ever replay it.
And then on the other side here, we got a EB Games ad that's focused on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah,
And
I've never seen that Game Boy Advance. It's like the top part is black and the bottom part is silver.
I
It's like they just
I
for
think I
extra parts.
remember. I believe I remember that.
Think of it.
Yeah, it says here new color, dual tone. Um, I
I've
had
never
this.
seen one of those in the wild.
I had this
If
one.
you saw it now, you'd think it was not real. Probably, you'd think it was a fake case.
Yeah, or that
Or
somebody had to make one good Game Boy Advance
Yeah.
SP out of 2 broken ones or something. Yeah, I had the Onyx one. Yeah. And then what games we got here? I had several. I had Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, Super Mario 3, or Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario 3, and Super Mario Advance 3 Yoshi's Island. I had those. I never picked up Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. And for some reason, I never picked up Sword of Mana, and I don't really know why.
Huh.
And then I've still never played a Pokemon game, but we were talking about it in the Discord chat the other day, and it was recommended to me that Ruby and Sapphire would be a good game to check out if I wanted to play a Pokemon game.
Yeah. Well,
What?
I know. I mean, I haven't played any like real Pokemon games.
Well,
at
me
all.
either. That's
Like
what I'm saying. I wouldn't mind checking
we,
one out.
we were too old for them when they came out.
Well, right. That's how I feel. Like Pokemon came out, I was in college already, and like I saw some people were playing it, but nothing about it was making me think like, "Ooh, I want to play that." We got $9.99 from Zero Beast. Thank you. He says, "Thanks for doing these streams, guys. I forgot how weird the gaming press was during the mid 2000s until now." And I mean, yeah, with all the stuff like this, which I mean doesn't bother me, but it just seems out of place for a game magazine. But here they're obviously aiming. I wouldn't even say aiming for an older crowd. It's just like if you were our age and you grew up playing video games, you were reading EGM when you were like a preteen and a teenager, and if you were still reading it, I mean, when this magazine came out, I was 23, so I think they were sort of following that audience. That's in my opinion.
Yeah.
Next page, Narc for PS2 and Xbox, Spider-Man 2 for all 3 systems, Siren for PS2, and Astro Boy for PS2. I said that one last because I figured for some reason, if there was one you might want to say something about, it might be Astro Boy.
I don't think. I mean, Astro Boy is like the Game Boy Advance game. It's like Omega Factor or something like that. Is really, really good.
Yeah,
that's a treasure game.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure if the PS2 game is very good. But Narc is like a reboot of the arcade game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Doesn't look like
I mean, it's a Midway game.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, right? You're right, Midway. Wow, I wouldn't mind checking that out.
I bet it's embarrassing. Much in the same way that Final Fight Streetwise is really embarrassing.
Yeah.
When you have you played Final Fight Streetwise?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Like,
well, don't. It's just like it's just like makes you kind of like tense up that it's just like so embarrassingly written.
Yeah.
It's very much a product of the time.
We got Retro Dream. We got $9.99 from Retro Dream. But it's kind of for you. I mean, you should give the $9.99 to Try. It says, thanks to Try, I bought a IPS modded Game Boy Advance. I cannot believe the quality playing Drill Dozer.
Yeah, I still have never seen one in person. It always looks really good though. I mean, he has those little nitpicks to it.
But like, why? I mean, I just don't know much about it. Like, how, is that better than getting like the AGS 101 Game Boy Advance SP?
Yeah, it's just like a different, but it's a better screen, but it has like some other caveats to it.
I see.
Like
but you could put that into an original GBA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it takes some.
Because I mean, a lot of people find that the controls on the regular Game Boy Advance feel better than the SP.
Yeah, I mean, I still have never used one before, so I can't say if I would prefer it or not.
Then on the other page here is an ad for Firefighter FD18, which, I mean, Just going purely on the screenshots, I gotta say, I mean, that looks kind of cool. I know you can't see it yet, but I mean, it's like a third person, like, you know, you're a firefighter.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's a Konami game too, so
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
mean,
don't know. I really like. I don't know if you ever seen Backdraft, the movie Backdraft.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I think I told that story already. My friend was in that movie.
Oh
He
really?
was like a stand-in or stunt double or something. I don't know what you want to call it. He's not. He was not a stunt man, but I think I told this story on a stream before. I don't want to bore people, but yeah. All right, next page. Advent Rising. Riddick
Is that
Escape.
that's the game that had the big
What?
like the you could win a bunch of money, like a contest or something like that. I don't know
Uh, I don't know.
if it's gonna say it in the ad or not.
Well, it's
But
not an
there's
ad.
something.
This is the 50 games that you need to know about.
Oh, I see.
It'd be cooler, I guess, if it was an ad. Maybe it would have
Yeah.
that. Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay, The Incredibles, which obviously was a movie tie-in, Blood Rain 2, and Plague of Darkness.
Well, I've never played it, but Riddick is really considered to be well ahead of its time, and runs really well. You know, considering that it's
That's based on a movie, isn't it? Isn't it Chronicles
well,
of
it started
Riddick?
out like with Pitch Black, and then it was the Chronicles of Riddick, and then there was a third one. I think the third one was just called Riddick.
Hmm.
I don't know. Like I can barely stand Vin Diesel. Like I feel like he's just like every time he's like anytime he's like acts in a movie, it's just like he's phoning it in.
He was good in Saving Private Ryan, though.
Yeah, but that's like different.
Yeah,
It's like before. That's
yeah,
when he like actually had to try.
yeah. And then the ad here on the other side, Alias. I mean, I'm probably the game sucks. I don't know, but I mean, did you ever watch? I never watched that show, but it was very popular.
Yeah, I said J.J. Abrams, right?
I don't know.
I think he was the creator of it, but I never seen the show either.
All right.
I don't know. It does have, you know, one of my guilty pleasure movies is
Navy
like
SEALs.
like taking like you know since Jennifer Garner was in Alias, but I really like that movie 13 Going on 30.
Oh, I never heard of it.
Yeah,
I'm not much of a movie buff though.
it's one of those, you know, one of those movies I just really like.
Yeah. So the next page, this is RP. So I guess I didn't mention this, but these are grouped by genre. So now we get into RPGs, and we have Fable for the Xbox, Legend of Zelda: Four Swords for the GameCube, and Suikoden 4 for the PS2.
Uh, I think Suikoden 4 is considered to be the worst one.
Oh.
It's really boring, I guess.
And then I don't think I've ever seen an ad for mobile games before. So this is kind of weird. Or kind of cool. I mean, it's just, you know, sort of a sign of the times.
Yeah,
These are
yeah.
from Gameloft. And check out that Sony Ericsson phone there. But you've got mobile versions of, what is this, 13? Sorry, I had to borrow the magazine there.
Yeah,
13, Prince of
you know, they
Persia,
just
Sands
had
of
a
Time.
remaster recently too.
The
Like
mobile
it just
version?
came out on modern systems. 13, yeah. I think it has like doesn't David Duchovny do the voice of the main character in that? I think. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a cell shaded first person shooter.
Yeah, I played 13 a little bit on. It came out on PC, if I remember correctly, unless I'm confusing it with a
Yeah,
different
I've heard
cell
it.
shaded first person shooter. Yeah, and then that Splinter Cell game looks kind of cool, actually. It's funny though, because some of these games like look like, oh, that looks kind of cool, but then you know the controls are going to be sucky because you're playing it on a phone. You know?
And like it's like a pre smartphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing that it even has a color screen, honestly.
Yeah, I mean at that time, I mean I think around this time I had well, no, that wasn't until like 2006, 2007 I got one of those Razors, you know, the Motorola Razor. Like once it became, because like when that phone first came out, it was like $1,000, and it was like Kim Kardashian was running around with one. But then like before you knew it, it was like the free phone at AT&T, and like
Yeah.
that's when I got mine.
Yeah. Is that like a Sony Ericsson? Is that
Yeah,
what that
yeah,
is?
Sony Ericsson. Looks
You know, I
kinda-
spent a summer working at a cell phone booth case, a cell phone case booth in a mall,
Yeah.
and that's how I like learned all these different
Oh,
phones.
yeah.
You know,
And then okay, so next, I don't know. Does this still count? It still says this is role playing games. Was X-Men Legends a role playing game?
no, that's kind of like the precursor to
That's what I thought.
what is it, like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it's probably like 4 players, and
Yeah. And
I think I have that.
let's see,
I think I
Sudeki.
have, at least I have the second one, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, Jade Empire. I mean, that was kind of a cool game for original Xbox. Jade Empire. I had that.
Oh, it's BioWare.
Well, I guess
It's
I
backwards
mean,
compatible on new systems too, and I guess it looks really good.
yeah. I mean, I guess I
I haven't
still
tried
have
it,
it.
but
I
I
had
must play through
this was like when I was buying games and just copying them onto my, or not buying. I was renting games at Blockbuster and copying them onto my hard drive because my Xbox was chipped.
it. Oh, okay. I was not the guy. I was not the kind of person who was trying to get anybody to sign up for anything.
You were
Like
just
I was
you were
just selling.
selling cases.
I was selling, yeah, like the cases
Yeah.
or like face plates or whatever.
Yeah.
What was that one Nokia phone that everybody had?
Oh yeah, the one that had what was that
It
Snake
was like blue.
that had that Snake game on it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
My wife when we first started dating, like that was the phone she had. I used to sit there and play Snake on it. And there was a few iterations of that phone, but
Right, but that was like most people who had a cell phone had that.
oh yeah, that was a very popular phone. Dead or Alive Ultimate for Xbox.
That's it, the Nokia Sidekick. That's right. Oh yeah, Dead or Alive Ultimate has 1 and 2 in it.
Wasn't
Yeah.
Sidekick the one that had the flip out keyboard?
Oh yeah, the Sidekick was the one that had the.
Yeah.
That is the one. That was a T-Mobile Sidekick.
Oh yeah. All right. Anyway, next.
I have Dead or Alive Ultimate. I found it at Goodwill, but it does not have the outer box. I just got the
Why did it?
each game came in their own individual case.
Oh, I see. Double pack collector set. Wow, that's exciting.
I was recording some footage for an upcoming video, and my 8-year-old daughter was sitting down here, and I played Dead or Alive 2 on the Dreamcast,
Yeah.
and she's like looks over and she's like, can you see her underwear? I'm like,
That is not family
yeah,
friendly.
she's like, wow, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so in the chat, that's what it is. The Nokia 3390 was the
Right.
phone there. Okay, so now we get into shooting games. We have Star Wars Republic Commando, Geist, Shadow Ops Red Mercury. I'm not saying it is, but I don't know if you remember in the PS1 days, there were like those budget games that started coming out that were like $15. And there was that one that was called like Spec Ops.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that just Shadow Ops just reminds me of those old. I don't think I ever picked up those Spec Ops games because they were, terrible. Area 51.
Pretty good, though.
What's that?
Republic Commando is pretty good. That's another
Looks
one that's
cool.
on Xbox backwards compatibility that
Yeah.
I have a digital version of, but I've never played it. But I've
That's
heard it's
cool.
very good.
I don't have an X. The only Xbox I have is my original Xbox. So, Area 51. So I don't. Is this like some kind of update of the Area 51 arcade light gun game?
Yeah. Yep. It's just when they're rebooting all these games, and the thing is they all look the same.
Yeah. Half-Life 2, Doom 3. So I mean, those are both heavy hitters. Shell Shock Nom 67 and Killzone. I don't know. I'm just not
I did a
super
video
into.
on Killzone, like really early on the channel.
Yeah. Oh, and then here's Call of Duty Finest Hour. I'm just not that into first-person shooters. Like I think I got it out of my system.
I mean, it depends. It depends.
Yeah. What do we got? Coupon for Judge Dredd. Dredd versus Death. So, and that's not it's not tied into the movie. I think it's tied into the original. That was a comic book,
Yeah.
right? Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you ever saw the new or the new-ish Judge Dredd movie, just called Dredd. It's really really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has Dredd is played by Carl Urban,
I don't know who that is.
who is he plays McCoy in the Star Trek
Oh,
reboot
okay.
movies.
Yep. You know what
It's very very good.
I just found out today? Well, some of us in the Discord just found out today. You know they made like a Big Lebowski spin-off movie
Yeah, like the
about
Jesus
Jesus?
rolls.
Yeah.
I heard it sucks.
I don't know. We talked about that in the Discord because I guess it got bad reviews, but like it's got a really good cast, so like I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah, it's like based on another story, I think.
Yeah,
Like
but
they
I don't care. I don't want.
a certain story that exists and put the Jesus into it.
Oh, that's fine. I can spare 2 hours for that, just on the off chance that it's good. I'm gonna take the risk. Fighting games. Phantom Dust Fight Club. It's kind of Samurai Showdown 5.
No?
So that's kind of cool. Xbox Nation magazine. I don't know if you ever messed around with that.
We did not.
XBN. Dead or Alive Ultimate. King of Fighters 2002. River City Ransom Advanced. And then here's an ad for Computer Gaming World. I subscribed to Computer Gaming World at this time. That's back when you still got the disc. Although I don't know if Computer Gaming World, I think you got a disc. I used to always half the reason I would look forward to getting the magazine in the mail was just to get the disc, you know.
Yeah. Are the buttons the button fly on whatever her name is it Tina is the wrestler in Dead or Alive? Is her button fly undone?
It is. It's weird because her belt is buckled, but then her button fly is. She probably just ate lunch, you know. And it's just like, man, I shouldn't have gotten back for that second plate of food.
It's like I'm like in this corset and I can't, you know, it's like gonna explode at any point off of me. You remember button flies?
Oh, of course. Well, I'm pretty sure you could still get button fly, don't you think? I mean, I don't understand
like 4 buttons.
I just don't understand the point. Like, why would you?
Yeah, it's just annoying.
It's like buying shoes with buckles on them or something. Like, although actually, since you made me come back to this page, just because I missed it the first time, that's kind of cool that they got this blue. It says Kasumi's Xbox. In Japan, Microsoft plans to celebrate the launch of DOA Ultimate with a limited edition Xbox console inspired by Kasumi, one of the series' most beloved battling. I don't really care about that, but the unit sports a clear blue hue, and the game's look. It just looks cool that it's a clear blue Xbox. I just thought
that actually exists. I'm sure it does.
I'm pretty sure it does, but I just think that's neat because like
anything to sell systems in Japan.
My Xbox is I have the Crystal Xbox, which came out in Canada. But
really, I didn't realize that that was an official release.
Yeah, I want to say it came out in Europe, but it definitely came out in Canada, and so I have the Canadian version. So, and the matching clear controller.
Did you ever see the Dead or Alive movie?
I did not even know there was a Dead or Alive movie.
It's like it's really 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 stupid.
Yeah.
But not half bad.
Yeah.
If you're okay with a plot where Eric Roberts has a pair of sunglasses that he can put on and it records the moves of different karate fighters and then he can reproduce them.
Yeah.
Because of his sunglasses.
That I suspect that might be dumb. I think I'm gonna watch Jesus Rolls instead, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So stealth games, StarCraft Ghost, Red Ninja, End of Honor, and Spy Fiction. I don't believe I've heard of any of those.
Well, StarCraft Ghost was famously canceled.
Well,
Never came out.
You know, like I said, my
They worked on it
knowledge of
for a
this era
long
of
time.
console gaming is not very well developed.
Yeah.
It's an ad for the Entertainment Software Rating Board. That's the opposite of exciting.
Yeah.
Although it's got Tiger Woods in it, so I mean that's kind of cool.
Playing tennis.
Yeah. Because if you want to have him playing golf, he probably would charge more for that.
Yeah.
Thief Deadly Shadows. I remember I feel like that game was kind of a big deal.
I think I got that at Goodwill fairly recently.
Yeah.
It's like a remake of maybe it's like a combination of 1 and 2 or something like that. I'm sure someone in the chat can clear it up, but it's not like part 3 or anything like that.
Then Hitman Contracts, which we talked about already. Ninja for PS2. Which apparently it says is a spin-off of Tekken.
Ninja?
It says Tekken's blonde bad girl busts out in her own stealth action romp set aboard a luxurious cruise ship. Nina,
instead.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like, I think it's like Death by Degrees it's called.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it does say Nina, not Ninja. I'm sorry. It's very small writing.
I think the final game is called Death by Degrees.
All right.
It's like when they were trying to pull some like MK mythologies type thing.
And then there's Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater for PS2, which I think I actually have a copy of that sealed that I need to just get.
So you've never, obviously, if you didn't play the other ones, you haven't played that one.
No.
Metal Gear Solid 3, I feel, is the best game in the series. I think a lot of people will agree with that.
Yeah.
It's really
it's one of those things where, like, I think I bought it off of somebody on the forums, and it was like, it's still sealed, but it was like some pre-order version of the game that came with some other little bonus thing, and they're all sealed together. And like, I bought it off of them because I intended to play it. I never got around to it, and like now, like, I'm not going to open a sealed version of the game. Like, I can just buy a used copy. So I need to just get rid of it, sell it or whatever. And then we have PsyOps, the Mindgate Conspiracy. Yeah, and then here's a sort of a, well, it's not another ad. This is from EGM, I guess. EGM presents the ultimate Drakengard sweepstakes. Which, you win a trip for 2 to Los Angeles. And a grand evening at medieval times.
It's like, we'll fly to Los Angeles and like not give you anything to do. Wouldn't it be funny if that was the prize? Like, yeah, well, play for your plane ticket. And then, like, you're on
your own. Yeah, have fun. Next is Weird Games. What's Nintendo's abandoned esoterica?
I have no idea.
It says Nintendo has an odd habit of announcing utterly bizarre games, but then failing to follow through by actually releasing them. Oddball titles like Giftpia, a pastel-colored RPG devoid of combat, Stage Debut, a talent simulator that involves scanning e-cards, Custom Robo, which is brutal toy box warfare, and Roll-O-Rama, in which you control a ball by tilting the controller, seem unlikely to ever make it to store shelves.
I think a lot of those did, though. Custom Robo did, and so did, I think, Giftpia did.
Yeah. We got Pikmin 2, the movies. I remember seeing the movies at like the rental store, but never picked it up. Harvest Moon for Girls.
That's just what it's called. It's Harvest Moon for Girls. That's really what it says.
That's what it says. It says apparently Harvest Moon Friends of Mineral Town and Harvest Moon A Wonderful Life should have had 4 boys added to their titles because both are being remade with a feminine twist. I don't know, it sounds familiar, but like not with that title, but I seem to remember like girlier version of Harvest Moon coming out. I don't know. Here's an ad for E3. If you're in the business of games, you need to be at the center of the games business. E3.
Not bad. Did you ever watch the E3 2001 video that I uploaded to like our side channel?
I don't think so.
It's actually pretty cool. I didn't go that year.
Yeah.
I think it was actually I think it was E3 2002. Yeah,
really,
it would've
Clay
been E3
says the movies
2002.
never came to consoles. Maybe I saw it for PC, but I believe you.
But I digitized the video from it and uploaded it to like our B-roll channel. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. It's just kind of walking around with a VHS camcorder
Yeah.
and recording a bunch of stuff.
Do your videos on that channel get very many views? I feel like I don't ever hear you mention that.
Jack, I have no
channel.
idea.
I mean, I feel like there's probably a lot of stuff
barely
on that
upload
channel that
anything to it.
people would want to check out if they knew about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't upload enough stuff to it that does. It's
Yeah.
not.
All right.
Not
So
worth bring-
as you can
worth
see, we finally got into the review crew. So we're on page 114, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. This first game
I
is...
don't like this review crew layout.
You do not?
Well, I guess it has each person's opinion in
Yeah.
the body of the text, but you gotta look somewhere else to actually see the score. Then,
It's right there.
well, but I mean, I like seeing the score and seeing like the text right on top of the score.
Like you want... Oh, I see what you're saying. So you would rather if
You gotta
like...
go back and forth, like, oh, this
Here where
person said
Paul's
that.
section is, you wish there was like a little box here that said like 8.0.
Yeah, or each
Yeah.
person's paragraph.
Yeah,
like
no,
another
I get it.
sentence
I get it. Well, do you care about James Bond 007, Everything or Nothing?
I've heard it's good.
Well, they got it. It got
But-
an 8 and 2 8.5s.
Yeah, I mean, it's like an original game. Yeah, I mean, Tawhid Irfani is saying Everything or Nothing and Nightfire are both awesome Bond games. You know,
Yeah.
that's when they were doing original ones.
I don't say his name anymore because I'm not saying it properly. So
Joe Cochin says, "Tell Bithead you'll all drink Jack and Cokes
Nope.
with him, and you'll be
nope,
3 ahead of him to eliminate any diction
nope.
advantages."
I've begged and pleaded with the guy, and he doesn't want to do it, and I'm not going to ask anymore. So
Your diction is too good, you know.
right,
I've been ever since our conversation. I've been like looking up different phrases that I
Yeah.
can read out loud to practice and improve my diction.
Well, see, that makes me think I need to do the same thing so I can stay ahead of you. Because really,
You have it naturally.
well, right, but I just feel like if there was any one thing I could say where my show had an advantage over yours, that's it. Because in every other way, your show is better than mine. So, like, if you get your diction game going, then I might as well just hang it up.
When I was watching the inauguration yesterday, there's that one young girl who is the poet.
Yeah.
Did you see that? And she read when she's reading her poem.
Yeah,
I said, I was like, man, she has really good diction.
yeah, she does. Yeah,
You got me thinking about it though.
yeah.
How I can get. Yeah, Agent Smith in the Matrix movies had good diction. That was
Oh, he had
a
excellent
definite
diction.
part of his character.
Yeah, yeah. Although, that actor is British. So, like, not only was he, exercising good diction, but he was doing it while, forcing an American accent.
Yeah, which is basically a non-accent.
I mean, is it though? I feel like anybody,
I tend to think of it that way, but it's not.
I think everybody thinks that they don't have an accent and everybody else does,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I have a Western New York or an upstate New York accent,
You definitely have an accent. Yeah.
which is weird because I think it sounds like nothing.
Yeah. All right, so we got Worms 3D, which I guess we already talked about a little bit, only to say that neither one of us had much to say about it. But then down here, they've got Mafia, and somebody mentioned it in the chat, an hour ago or whatever. But Mafia did not really make a very good transition to home consoles. So you see, it gets a 6, a 5, and a 7.5. So if you want to play Mafia, I would get it for PC, because I'm sure you can still get it
Yeah.
from Steam or whatever. MVP Baseball 2004.
Is MVP baseball? That's EA, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How many times did they retitle their baseball game? Because it was like triple play at first, wasn't it?
Yeah, triple play. Yeah,
Then it became MVP, I guess.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't even know if they don't even make baseball games now, do they?
No.
Do baseball games even come out anymore? Wasn't 2K making baseball games, and do those even still come out?
Yeah, they made the World Series franchise, but no baseball. Who still makes? Because I was playing. I have a baseball game for my PS4 that I got kind of addicted to for a while because it was like one of the free.
Or something like that.
What's that?
Wasn't it like the Bigs? Is that one of them?
That is a baseball franchise. I'm not sure if that's what I had.
Or MLB The Show?
Oh yeah, that's what I have. The show. Yeah.
Okay. Is that the only baseball game out there now?
I can't say for sure, but it's pretty good. I mean, I was enjoying playing it.
Yeah. There is an RBI baseball, isn't there? Isn't that weird that RBI baseball came back?
Is it only on the Switch? I've only ever seen it at the store for the Switch, but I really don't know. I only picked up the show because, like I said, it was free with PS Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was having a lot of fun with it. So MX Unleashed. Oh, see, they give it straight 8s. Remember, I said this is a game I wouldn't mind checking out. I mean, it gets 8s across the board. That's pretty good. I've never heard of Lifeline for the PS2. It's a Konami game. You know much about?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know. I can't tell you anything about it.
All right, and then here's Onimusha. What?
Oh, I was gonna say Onimusha Blade Warriors. It's kind of like Smash Brothers.
This looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I've heard it's not bad.
Oh, and then one of the reviewers is Milkman, so that must have been James Milky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who now works for Limited Run Games, apparently.
Oh yeah. He was the last, if I remember correctly, he was the last editor-in-chief of EGM.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's wow, that's kind of weird. Okay, so well, you'll see it when it pops up. So we got a review here for Drakengard. And it's just interesting because the 3 scores it gets a 7.5, a 7.0, and a 3.5. So somebody really did not like Drakengard.
Yeah, I mean I guess that would make sense. I've heard that it's difficult to play.
Well, it seems more like, so he says here, call me old-fashioned, but I like my games incest-free. Sadly, the suggestion that Drakengard's hero does his sister helps make up the most painfully unwatchable story I've experienced in years.
I guess, I mean, it would be par for the course, I guess.
Wow. Yeah. And then here's that firefighter game, which does not get, gets a 6.5, 6.0, and 4.0. So,
yeah.
But I mean, I don't know how much of it, maybe for a firefighter game, maybe it's good, but maybe firefighter games were just not that popular. And then over here, this is kind of weird. So Nightshade, and then they say it's Shinobi for her.
It's a sequel to the Shinobi reboot on
Yeah, but
PS2.
is there something about it that, I mean, obviously it's a female main character, but
Yeah, like I think in Japan it's called Kunoichi, but it's like, yeah, it's just a female ninja.
yeah. Sorry, I don't have anybody moderating the chat, and people's comments are being held for no good reason.
Oh, I can't see it when they're being held.
Are you not a chat mod?
I'm not a chat mod.
Sorry, man.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'll let you know next time applications open up. So on the next page, I never heard of it's CY Girls.
Yeah, I can't tell you anything about it, but I think it's based on a comic book, maybe,
I don't know.
but maybe not. I don't know. Like I'm looking at those pictures and it looks like it's not. I might be thinking of mixing up with it. Like there's a comic book called like Danger Girls or something like that.
But then the other game here, Colin McRae, Rally 04. I mean, those Colin McRae games were pretty bad. I know you don't like driving games unless
It's a rally game, but still,
it's still driving.
they still make them, don't they? I'm pretty sure they do. Or it became like the Dirt series, maybe.
Yeah, I think Colin McRae, unless I'm confusing it with somebody else, I believe he passed away, so they probably don't name them after him anymore. But
I was gonna say it's like I can't even tell you what he looked like. I didn't really watch rally racing.
yeah.
I didn't watch. Race, so.
And then, but here on the other page, I only point this out because, like, I really want to do a magazine read through with Greg Seward.
Yeah.
And so he sent me, he has like a Google spreadsheet, I think, with like all of the games or all the game magazines that he owns. But then he also has a page with all the issues of different game magazines that he worked on. Like if he wrote something that appeared in that magazine, then he has that like, listed on this spreadsheet. And so, I mean, you can imagine like, it would be way cooler if I did a magazine read through where he actually worked on that issue.
I mean, did he work on this issue? Was he writing for them yet?
Oh, this EGM? I don't know. I'd have to look at the, I guess I'd have to go back and look at the masthead, but he worked for Pocket Games for a while too, or he wrote some stuff. So I thought it would be cool if I could get an issue of Pocket Games, but I mean, I only looked a couple times, but there were like literally no issues on eBay. So I'll have to see if I can track down a Pocket Games.
Yeah, I mean that's something I really want to see is you doing a read through with him and something that he actually wrote for. Like
That's what I'm saying.
That would be really cool. Because I mean, when we would do these streams as our normal Sunday night stream, we've done some, and Greg would always join us for those.
Yeah.
But that was a few years ago now.
Yeah. Well, I need to keep. It's not one of those things like I need to have like a saved eBay search or something, so that it tells me when one gets listed. Anyway, here's another baseball All-Star Baseball 2005 from Acclaim ad. Derek Jeter. Here they review Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes.
I bet it got 8s.
8, 8.5, and 9.
Okay, that's close.
Yeah.
Is that the game of the month?
It doesn't say. It gets their silver award, but so does any game that I think gets an average between an 8 and a 9 gets a silver award.
Yeah.
And then here's yet another one of these EB Games coupons. Trade in 4 non-sports games and get 7 Samurai 20XX.
They were really trying not to get bought by GameStop.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
The 7 Samurai 20XX.
Yeah. And then the Twin Snakes review continues over here, and then the other side, Phantasy Star Online Episode 3 Card Revolution for GameCube.
That guy, look at those ratings on that. That's very surprising.
Yeah.
I was able to buy a brand new sealed copy of that off of eBay like probably like 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
And it was like $10. I don't know. Like, it's just one of those weird things that it was very difficult to get into because I'm just not a big. I don't really like playing cards in the first place.
Yeah. But then you
But
can
of
see.
course, I was going to buy a new PSO game, and it's just really weird because it's this one-off thing.
Yeah. Now, if you notice here, that's what got their game of the month.
Really?
Yeah.
It's surprising. It's very surprising. I mean, I bought it when it came out, and I did not like it, so I returned it, and then I bought it years later.
I see. And then I'll just point this out because I just remember seeing this ad, not this specific ad, but this Full Sail, school of, it says, computer animation, digital media, film, game design. Just because, like I said, I was reading like PC Gamer and Computer Gaming World. There was one other one, Maximum PC. Around this time, you were seeing these Full Sail ads in all those magazines. I have no idea if that school, I mean, for all I know, it's still around. Although I subscribe to PC Gamer now, and I don't see those ads anymore. So,
I'm just thinking about what the thought process of putting the review crew in the back.
Yeah, I know you hate that. That's a pet peeve of yours.
Well, but in thinking of like the logistics about it, like it makes a lot of sense because if it was in the front. Mm-hmm. And a game got a bad review, you likely were not going to read the full review of it.
Yeah.
So doing it this way makes it so you look at the whole magazine and you think like, oh, that looks pretty cool, and you are open-minded by the time you reach the end. You're more open-minded on the potential of a game based on like the preview or whatever review they have in the magazine before you get to the actual rating.
Maybe. Pokemon Coliseum for Gamecube. Nothing? All right. Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life, also for Gamecube. This is like a 3D Harvest Moon. Gets sort of mediocre scores.
Yeah.
And I think that wraps up the review section.
Why is there two?
What?
Why is there a picture of Scully and Mulder?
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Pump your brakes, buddy. So reviews wrap up the hits and misses that we missed this month. Steel Battalion. This version of the niche mech combat game adds online multiplayer, but no new single-player missions. We couldn't review it ahead of time because the expletive servers weren't up. But judging from our stick time during the beta test, it's awesome. X-Files, here you go. X-Files Resist or Serve. VU Games refused to let us see X-Files before it hit stores, so you know what that means. The forecast is mostly cloudy with a high probability of sucking.
Well,
See, why can't I like, weave words together like that, for my scripts?
Well, you could, but
I think saying something like that's
the overall tone.
That's not really my style. What else you got here? Auto Modalista.
Oh, yeah.
This misguided melding of cartoony visuals and serious racing drifts onto Xbox, but bare bones live support and slightly revamped graphics can't compensate for the atrocious handling problems.
I think the Auto Modalista is well regarded now, or it's at least like the GameCube version is kind of expensive.
Yeah. Bomberman Jetters. You ever heard of that one? Bomberman Jetters.
What is it?
Bomberman Jetters for GameCube.
I know of it.
I mean, it just looks like Bomberman to me.
Yeah.
Romance of the Three Kingdoms 9. I never played any
I
of the
don't know.
Romance
Like
of the
those
Three
Romance
Kingdoms.
of Three Kingdoms, there's just I don't have the patience for them.
All right. And then Ice 9. I don't know what that for Game Boy Advance. Ice 9. First person shooter. So first person shooter on the Game Boy Advance, maybe not so hot.
What is it? Is what game is it?
Ice 9.
Oh,
I never
I
heard of
thought, I
it.
thought it was X versus Severs, X versus Severs, whatever it
Yeah,
is.
wasn't that based on a movie? Wasn't that a movie, X versus Severs?
Yeah, I feel like
Had Lucy
I don't
Liu
know
in
if
it, I
it's
think.
the other way around because the game came out and the movie came out afterwards. It had like
Oh.
Lucy Liu and Antonio Banderas in it.
Hmm.
And I guarantee you that we are the only people in the entire world that thought about that movie existing today.
I think that's fair to say, yeah. So this is a reviews archive. I'm not going to go through this. Is just a big, huge list. But you know, although you know what, this is, I'll just point out. I just think this is kind of cool that they did this. They have this column here, like if a game got the silver award or the gold award, they have it in there. So like I don't know if you find yourself in a position where you're just like looking for something you want to buy or rent a game, you don't know what, you can kind of
Yeah,
check this out and
that's a good idea.
get some recommendations there.
Yeah. There were two X versus Severs GBA games.
Wow,
Somehow.
wow. Oh wow, and Sasquatch in Time says Ice 9 is a $70 game loose. Here's that
When you said Sasquatch in Time, I thought like, oh, I wonder if I thought it was a game that came out,
oh, yeah, that would be cool.
and I thought maybe it was a sequel to Urban Yeti or something.
I don't know why I was thinking about Harry and the Hendersons the other day. Like I
Oh,
saw I saw
I saw
something online that reminded me of it, I think.
I saw Harry and the Hendersons on my birthday, the year that it came out. I don't even know what year it came out.
Yeah.
And I tried to watch it. It's because it's on Disney Plus. I tried to watch it with my kids, and I was like, let's watch Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I don't want to watch that.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah,
You could have still
I haven't
watched
seen
it.
it. It's got a young what's his face in it? John Lithgow in it.
Yep. And here's that two-tone Game Boy Advance system again. And this is just kind of cool. So it's says advance yourself, whether sitting on the bus or your household's porcelain throne. Playing games on Nintendo's Game Boy Advance is a superb way to pass the time. And they just mentioned they've reviewed 117 GBA games. 37 of them awards EGM has handed out to GB. So 37 of them got either a gold or silver award, and 5 GBA games up to that point had earned Game of the Month honors, and that was Castlevania Circle of the Moon, Super Mario Advance 2, Super Mario World, Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, and Super Mario Advance 4. I think I actually played, because I've beaten all 3 of those Castlevania games on the Game Boy Advance, but I played them in reverse order.
Interesting.
Because I bought Aria of Sorrow when it came out, and I beat that.
Yeah.
And then, I mentioned earlier there was that EB Games that was down the street from my apartment, and I kind of got a little bit chummy with the guys that worked there. And so they had a used copy of Harmony of Dissonance for sale, and the guy let me just take it home. Like he's like
Really?
he let me borrow it. I'm saying, because they must have had more than one copy. He's like, yeah, go ahead and take it home. Just bring it back when you're done or whatever. And so I played that one and beat it, and then I went out and got Circle of the Moon, because remember, Circle of the Moon I believe was a launch title for the Game Boy Advance. But the game is
Right.
so
Oh, yeah.
dark that it was almost, I don't want to say impossible to play, but it was not enjoyable, in my opinion, to play on that unlit screen. But once you got like a SP or something, all of a sudden it's like, hey, Circle of the Moon is pretty good.
It is. Yeah. I mean, that's the reason why it being so dark is the reason why Harmony and Dissonance, your main character, has that glow around him.
Yeah, which looks kind of weird, but
Yeah,
understandable. The reason behind it.
right. But Circle of the Moon, yeah, that was the first Castlevania game to come out after Symphony of the Night, as well.
Yeah.
I mean, in that style, I guess there was the Castlevania Chronicles, but
Yeah.
still,
all right.
I mean, Circle of the Moon holds up very well.
Oh well,
I mean, they all do.
I think yeah, exactly. So next year, this is Tricks of the Trade. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're into talking about. Usually, I kind of skip over this when I'm doing a read through, unless there's.
Because I'm pretty sure that Trickman Terry was still doing Tricks of the Trade at this point. I mean, he was doing it well beyond after everyone else was already gone.
Well, it looks like. I mean, I'm assuming that this guy wrote this whole section from.
Trickster.
Yeah. This David S.J. Hodgson. So maybe Trickman Terry had retired by then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here's some tips for Mafia. Game Shark and Action Replay codes. Teddy.
I never used an Action Replay or a...
I think the only time I don't remember if it was, I think it was a Game Shark disc. The only time I've ever used one, I burned a Game Shark disc for PS1 because when I did the PlayStation launch video, I kind of showed how you could play Raiden in Tate mode if you had a Game Shark.
I see. So the option was still in there. They just locked it off.
Yeah. So it would let you, the only thing it would let you do in the American version is it would rotate the screen, but it would leave the controls the same. So it's like you could play it like a horizontally scrolling shooter. But in the Japanese version, you could actually play like actual Tate mode. And so if you use the Game Shark mode, you could use the Game Shark, you could unlock it in the American version. And so, I mean, normally I wouldn't do that with a regular TV, but I have my PVMs, right, which are like cubes. So it was no big deal to just, turn one on its side, which was actually really fun. So,
yeah. That's such a weird, deliberate design or deliberate choice for them to make.
What I said in the video is I think it probably was like, I think they were worried about getting sued if someone broke their TV. Just because, I mean, it's the U.S., people get a little more sue happy, I don't know.
Maybe.
We got 377 from Seven Kurgand. I don't know, is that...
Seven Kurgand, yeah, he's...
Oh, is he a friend of yours?
Makes an appearance in our streams.
Oh, cool.
Every once in a while.
He just got home from work. That sucks. Well, welcome. Here's an extremely boring-looking ad for OneUp.com.
Tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of cool. It just, here's all the magazines that they were printing at that time. So GMR was that EB or GameStop?
So GMR was the EB Games magazine.
EB, right. Yeah.
That was like their Game Informer.
I see.
Wasn't Game Informer? Game Informer was it GameStop or was it FuncoLand? It was like their magazine.
I thought it was GameStop.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense because it continued to be.
Hey, there's a crossword puzzle.
Awesome. My favorite.
But we've also got the Seanbaby column or whatever you want to call it here, the rest of the crap.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it's called? Rest of the crap?
Rest of the crap, yeah. So he says, I'll read a little bit of it here. So he says, this month, in what can only be considered an attack on my sanity, I'm squeezing 5 bad games onto this page. Evidently, I got a little too long-winded last time when I compared Dinotopia to the tragic pandemic of dong crabs. I'm just reading what it says. Dong crabs. You
Yeah.
probably don't remember that because it was changed to Dinotopia, more like Cheese Weasel on crack by the editors, softened by standards and practices to become I did not enjoy this game about dinosaurs, and finally filtered through the United Council of Dinosaur Enthusiast Grandmothers to end at terrific.
I mean, I'm not sure how funny that is.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I don't even know if it was funny at the time.
Yeah, I don't know. This okay. So the first one here, Rocket Power Zero Gravity Zone.
Yeah.
This is a great game for people who like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater but hate themselves. That's funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I
Uh,
don't know. Like it feels like
it's
like
like
internet
edgelord kind of stuff. Like
in yeah, it's like internet. Like you said, it's edgelord humor.
edgelord, yeah,
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 in 2004, and it's like
yeah.
it's it's like uh, it's just I don't know. It's I don't think I would have thought it was that funny then either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jet powered, what or rocket powered? What else is there?
Um,
Is that Muppets Party Circus?
Party Cruise, Muppets Party
Party
Cruise.
Cruise. Uh,
Power,
is that a Barbie at the bottom there? Barbie's Horse Adventure.
yeah, Barbie's Horse Adventures Wild Horse Rescue. Finally, a game based on the email spam you've been getting for years. What does that? What does that mean? I
I don't
don't.
know.
I don't know.
That's what's interesting about this though, is that he was doing this like what is essentially like a condensed AVGN
That's
episode or
true.
series of episodes. Like,
AVGN ripped off
yeah.
Seanbaby.
I wonder if James Rolfe like ever read anything by Seanbaby.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, you'd think so.
We got 199 from Jonathan Mitchell. It says I sent some pocket games to Retro Mags. Check there. Yeah, that would be cool just to look at, just check them out. I like plus I use a lot of those scans on my show, but if I'm going to do a read through, I want to have the actual magazine. So like I said, I haven't tried very hard to find some issues on eBay. I've only looked a couple of times, so I just need to set up a
What will
saved
magically
search.
show up in your mailbox in the next go around?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that because I'm trying to get anybody to send me anything, but you
No,
mean
no,
like
I'm talking
from?
about
Oh, that would be
maybe
great.
that's
Yeah, if
what you get from your.
if Video Game History Foundation sent me one, that would be awesome. Um, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and then there's a crossword puzzle over here. I don't
Rumble
know.
Roses.
I'm kind of nerdy, so that's probably the kind of thing I would have actually enjoyed back then.
I mean, it sounds kind of fun now. Like, what are some of the clues?
One across Evergreen Whiz Kid reappearing in '04.
Evergreen Whiz Kid.
11 letters.
I was gonna say like we should try to do the whole puzzle.
I don't think people want to sit here and watch us do a crossword puzzle. That's a bit much.
That was the stream. It was just like let's do crossword puzzles.
Well, at least if we were honest about it, like, hey, we're doing a crossword puzzle today, so I mean, either watch it or don't. I don't know, what is this Sayuki thing? You know anything about Sayuki? Some sort of anime?
Yeah, is that like a reboot of the Journey West? Because there was a Sayuki Journey West on the PS1.
I don't. Well, no, this is not a video game. This is a like anime movie. Oh, here, Sayuki is a great retelling of Journey to the West. Oh yeah, all right. So, but the monk is a gambling addict and drunk. Oh, and Joe's got a question for you there.
Yeah, from Joe Cochin saying $5. Thank you. Saying Corey, Dragon Quest 8 on PS2, on a CRT, 3DS, or emulated up-res to 4K. Just about finished with Dragon Quest 11 on Switch. Love you guys. I have not played the 3DS version. I recommend the PS2 version. I think the PS2 version has a 480p mode if you wanted to output over something else. But I mean, I have not played it emulated up-res to 4K. I wonder how good it would look.
Yeah. Hey, you see who's here?
I see Knobtop.
Other Dave.
Yeah. Knobtop has the fullest head of hair. I'm very envious of his.
Oh, you and me both, buddy. He's glorious facial hair though too. I mean, not only does he have the, head of hair, but grows a high quality beard as well.
Yeah.
He sent me, by the way, Knoptop sent me a while back a Timex Sinclair that I haven't done anything with yet.
A Timex? What is it, like a watch?
No, hold on here. I got it right here. A watch.
It's a Timex is a watch, right?
Well, Timex makes watches, yes, but
oh,
it's like similar to like a ZX Spectrum. It's made by Sinclair, but I don't believe this one is. I don't believe this one is color. But
oh wow,
it's like $100. It was like $100 computer, back in like the early '80s.
He finds like a lot of really cool random stuff at Goodwills and stuff.
Yeah, if you don't follow him on Instagram, he posts a lot of cool pictures of the stuff he finds at thrift stores on Instagram.
Lots of tips and tricks for people looking to get into video.
Yeah, if you check out his YouTube channel is I believe Knoptop. His Instagram account is Thrifty Mint. You what?
It used to be called Quick Effects.
Oh, I don't know. Well, it isn't now. So, but yeah. Anyway, thanks again, man.
The series was called Quick Effects.
It's kind of funny, because this Timex Sinclair only outputs RF, but with the Retro Tank and a VCR, no problem. Can you just buy like a standalone? What would that be? An RF demodulator?
I know they make. Yeah.
So I don't have to use a.
The RF modulators inside of it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, could you just buy a little box I don't have to screw around and have a whole VCR just for that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could just probably screw it right into a VCR, or you could probably get like a coax to RCA adapter too. If the RF adapter is
but I was just saying, if you could, I don't know if somebody makes a little box or something that just has the circuitry, so that you can, take the RF from coax and get composite video out instead of having to use a whole VCR. I'm saying.
I'm sure that there is, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So next page here, Game Boy Advance giveaway. That's very exciting. The Game Boy Advance SP has really enlightened gaming on the go, but why spend $100 when you can get one of these babies for free? Did I ever tell you my story about getting my free Game Boy Advance SP?
No.
Electronic Gaming Monthly and Nintendo are teaming up to give 2 lucky readers a flame-colored Game Boy Advance SP and a copy of the action role-playing game Sword of Mana. simply find the piece of character art shown in the upper right, hidden in the mag. The one on this page doesn't count, and email us the page number. So there you go. Yeah, so I got my Game Boy Advance SP for free from Target. I never told you that. I told the story one time before on the stream. It's not that great of a story, but so I went to Target to buy. I already had the original Game Boy Advance. The SP came out. I went to Target to buy it, and this was in the days before, like, now if you go to Target and you buy a video game or like probably pretty much anything in the electronics department, you have to pay for it right there.
Yeah.
Like, or they'll take it up to the register for you. So it's probably because of stuff like this. So they just handed me the Game Boy Advance, and I just like put it in my cart with the rest of the stuff. And I went and got in line at the front of the store, but there was like pretty long lines.
Yeah.
And I don't think, Target doesn't do this anymore, but like, Target used to be set up a little bit more like a more traditional department store. And at this particular store, right across from the main checkout, where all the cashiers were, was like the jewelry department.
Yeah.
And the jewelry department had their own cash wrap, right? Like where they had like the counter where all like the good jewelry was like under glass, and then they had a cash register there. And the line was so long, so the lady that was running the cash register there, she came out and was like, "Oh, sir, I can help you over here." And so I took my basket over there and just bought, whatever else I was buying, paper towels and whatever. And since you said you worked at EB Games?
Yeah.
Okay, so then when you sell, at least at this time, when you sold a console, you would scan like the UPC for the console, and then it would ask you to scan the serial number.
Right.
Right? Like the box was cut out so that you could see the serial number of the console, and you scanned the serial number.
Oh, she did it in reverse.
No, she just didn't know what it was asking her. Like, it kept saying like, okay, scan this, and she didn't get it. And I also bought a game, but it was like, I bought Eye of the Beholder. It was like $5, and she scanned that first. And so she kept trying to scan it, and it wasn't going right. And instead of like trying to find somebody and ask them, she looked at the screen and it said like Game Boy Advance, blah, blah, blah. And so like she thought like, okay, I guess it scanned, whatever, and just like threw it in the bag. And like, could I have said something? Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I was in college and was kind of poor, and like, she should have asked. Like, she should have gotten somebody and asked him, and she didn't. And I was just like, okay, whatever. And so like I paid the $22 or whatever for, the stuff that I bought, and they just hightailed it out of there. So,
Yeah. I mean, whatever. It's like she had plenty of opportunities.
Yeah,
Figure it out.
the thing is now, like, there's no way I would do that. Like now,
But I
if
mean,
that was
at that
happening, I would
time-
say like, hey, no, you got to scan the. I would have shown her, but I was like in my 20s and
It's like
poor, and
winning like a nice scratch off.
yeah. So anyway, that's how I got my free Game Boy Advance SP.
You still have it?
I don't, only because a couple of years later, the Game Boy Advance SP, the 101 with the brighter backlit screen came out. And kind of like we were talking about, EB Games or GameStop was doing some promotion where it's like trade in an original GBA and like 5 games and get the new one for, extremely cheap. So I did that. So I traded in that Game Boy and got the one that I got back, though, the SP with the brighter screen. I still have that one.
Yeah. The 101, yeah.
Yeah. And then I also have, when the special NES edition SP came out?
I've seen it, but I've I didn't know. I don't know when it came out.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm saying when that came out, I bought one, and so I also have that.
Okay.
But I don't ever play it just because it does not have the brighter backlit screen. So
Yeah. It's
yeah,
just cool. It's a cool novelty to have around.
I mean, yeah, I could have somebody throw a brighter screen in it, but I mean, what for? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, down here, 5.1 channel equivalent 6 speaker headphones. Um,
Oh,
I mean that.
6 speaker headphones, huh?
So that probably sounds like, you know, it's a bunch of BS, but um, I actually have this thing that Sennheiser used to make that it's like a 5.1 or maybe just 5 channel surround sound like simulator. Like it's basically a headphone amplifier. You plug regular headphones into it and it simulates surround sound if you have it plugged into something that like a movie that has surround sound, and it's actually
Right.
surprisingly effective. Like I don't know
I'd
how
like
they
to
do
try
that.
something like that. I know they have equivalents to it now
Yeah,
that are pretty good.
yeah.
I'd be
Next,
curious to hear just how well they work.
yeah. Um, that doesn't make sense. The answer to that crossword clue was Harry Potter. How is
Oh,
that? How is that evergreen? Evergreen whiz kid reappearing in '04. I don't get it.
I don't know.
Anyway, next month, May 2004, GoldenEye, Dr. No versus Goldfinger, previews of Onimusha 3, Red Dead Revolver. So that was the first game in the Red Dead series. Burnout 3, which is the best game in the Burnout series. Time Splitters 3, Tales of Symphonia. Reviews of Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, Final Fantasy 11, EA Sports Fight Night 2004, Ninja Gaiden for the Xbox, and ESPN Major League Baseball. And then on the
It's a good lineup.
yeah, and then on the back page is some kind of corny comic book thing, which we're not going to read, obviously.
Is it better than Now's Nemo?
I mean, who knows? I don't know. Ad for EGM presents Resident Evil Outbreak. Be one of the first 10 people to win this game. Log on to reoutbreak.egmmag.com. So they're just doing a raffle. And then that's what's on the back cover is just an ad for Resident Evil Outbreak. So that is EGM from April of 2004, issue 177. By the way, I didn't say that.
177?
Yeah, 177.
I'm gonna throw the link to this.
I mean, that's like 15 years by then of EGM, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know what 15 times 12 is, but a lot.
If anyone wants to sign up for the magazine subscription, I just posted the link in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. So sorry there was no gameplay footage. I mean, it's funny because
I was all set up for it.
we plan to be able to, you know, because normally on one of my read-throughs, I show gameplay footage, and so we had it all set up so that, there's, we had it set up so that Corey could load up a game on his Mister and play it for you guys. But then on top of that, like even if it was a semi-newer console, I guess we could have gone to that, but I guess not. Not this new, but I mean, I don't know how long this stream's been going on for, but
You switched me off to my headshot again.
well, I had to put something there.
Oh, I switched it for the.
Well,
I
because
see.
when you had it switched, this was going to be the view.
Oh,
You know, like the game footage was going to be in the big window, and your headshot
Yeah.
was going to be where your head normally is.
Stainrub has the same wallpaper on the desktop.
So do I, actually. I think you see, it's the Streets of Rage thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I have on mine too.
Streets of Ragey, I like to call it. Well, that was fun.
That was pretty cool.
I don't think about this era of gaming magazines very much, but at the same time, like I had this like weird ability to retain certain
Yeah.
information, even if it's like a game I never even played. I don't know
Yeah, I mean,
why.
you definitely, I think, brought more knowledge this time than I did, you know. But yeah, it was fun. It was funny because when I first opened it, I don't know why, I just had this inkling that I was going to get something like this. And so when I first opened it, it was this combination of kind of like being a little bit disappointed and also just being kind of like, well, you know, that figures. That's what I was like afraid of or whatever. But like I said, I'm glad I got this just because I'd rather get this than a magazine that I already have. And yeah, it was fun to just, especially because this era of console gaming, I don't really know much about, and so it was interesting to check it out. So
It's not an issue of the magazine you would do like a fully produced episode
no,
of.
absolutely not. Yeah,
And that's why it's kind of cool because like if it's not that great, then it's just not that great. But we
yeah,
read through it, and that's it.
yeah. And I
It's
mean,
not like
hopefully the people at home there hopefully enjoyed it.
yeah,
But
I think they
uh,
did.
I had fun. So you have anything else that you want to add before we wrap things up?
Uh, Not really. I mean, this is really fun to do. I think
Yeah, I think so too.
it's fun to reminisce and remember different stories from the time
Yeah.
period.
Well, hopefully, I mean, I intend to try to get back to doing some streaming. Um, I was mentioning to my wife the other day, I don't really understand why I stopped streaming, and she agreed. She's like, I don't know why you did that. So I don't. If I do, I think regular streams will not be here. They'll be back on CGQ Plus. But I think that as far as these go, I think this is the plan going forward. Like, assuming we're going to keep doing these with these Video Game
Totally.
History
I think we
Foundation
should. And
magazines.
like there'll be times where we might have like other people join us too, which is always, adds a little bit of randomness to it,
Yeah,
unpredictability.
yeah, definitely. Um, but yeah, I mean, as long as I think whenever I do mine, whether you're joining me or whatever happens, I think I'll keep doing those on this channel. But once the stream wraps up, um, I'm probably gonna download the video and um, upload it on CGQ Plus. So just because I don't want the archive for this showing up in subscriber feeds on this channel. So, and like I know you like to have yours unlisted or whatever, but a lot of people watch my live streams as archives, so I just want to make sure everybody knows that they are there. So
For sure. I mean, you can release it on the other channel as like a video that goes out to everybody.
yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, anything else from you or
No, no,
no?
this is fun.
All right. Well, I mean, thank you for doing this with me, and thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight. And yeah, if nothing else, we'll see you next month with another live magazine read through. And as far as other uploads on this channel, I'm working on it, and I don't know how much longer it's going to take. So it'll be done when it's done. So, yep. All right. Well, then,
Yeah.
thank you to everybody, and good night.
Good night, everybody.